Oh, I did the mic thing. All right, guys, welcome to Thursday pre-market. Of course, my name's Tom. We're at FX Evolution today. And just as always, I seem to mute these microphones. But it is a sea of green. Tesla, Teladoc, every textile company pretty much is up. And I'm sure a lot of you are very hyped and excited to see whether today can hold. It is exciting times. It looks like we got a double bottom on the Nasdaq. We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about gold. Great trade. A few people probably got into that one yesterday. Success so far. So we'll talk about that one. Crypto. What else can I say? It's exciting times to be trading in the markets right now. And I thank you all for joining us on such an amazing year. 2020 was crazy. 2021 is the year of the stonk. It's truly the year of the stonk. I've never seen movement such as this. So of course, what is happening? European tech stocks and Nasdaq 100 futures are climbing. The tech rut is now suddenly the tech boom, and everyone's feeling all green, all good. Let's have a look at this US 500 just to start off with. It's actually straight into resistance. In today's video, what happened? 3900 was breached in the futures. Now we're going towards the 3930. We've spoken so many times about this being one of the last points before the stock market really moves up hard in terms of goes back to our long-lasting trend line. So let's go to the SPX. Now we know it's 39.27 in the futures. So we'll scroll this down. We'll put our little 39.30 here. See this? On the left-hand side, guys, double resistance. Double resistance met here. Is there anything stopping it after that? I mean, you've got this high here, but that was really just a gap up and then it sold off our trend line. So for me, it's 39.30 and we're going to go into the open, it looks like around that point. If the market can move up above that, if the Nasdaq continues to hold above these levels, then you would have to think that the market is going to try to move towards the 4,000. The stats are all playing into the favor here. March, little bit of weakness into the start. March is a mixed, let's call it March chop. But April, it is a boom month, usually in the markets. And if that statistic is going to hold up, remember my statistics, I go crazy about these statistics all the time, guys. April is good historically for like 100 years. It's a positive month. I'm not going to fight 100 years of data. That's the way I think about it. Look, we follow the price action, but the price action's also looking bullish. So let's see if these resistances can get broken today. Let's take a look at the QQQ. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq. Let's take a look at the cryptos. Everything is exciting in the markets. I actually haven't seen so much excitement for years. And I've traded 12 years. And for many, many years, there were months where you were seeing 0.2% on the indices. So to have this kind of momentum, this kind of movement is unusual and really, really awesome. Sean says, hey, Tom, I'm going to go take a nap. Let me know if BTC dumps. You're all good right now, Sean. I'll yell at you. I'll play the rocket if it dumps, okay? So if it gets under 55,000, the rocket music will come out and you can wake up. Can we look at BA and Spot? Kunal says, yeah, we surely can. It looks like we've got a upgrader as well that's come in. Laura T, welcome to the Diamond Hands community. I did see your message. I'll add you after the stream. So thank you very much, Laura T. Upgrading from the Stonk Squad to the Diamond Hands. Great support of the channel so early in the morning. Timo says, hey, Tom, did you already go over what happened with GME yesterday? It's only 6 minutes, Timo. It's only 6 minutes in. The mute button stopped about 3 minutes of that. All right, so we've got the SPX. We know that 39.30 is our resistance. We'll go into GME, AMC in just a few moments. I know a lot of people are probably rightfully concerned about what happened yesterday. It hit the target though. Did some of you guys that have been following this channel, if you've been following this channel and you haven't subscribed and you saw our GME, AMC positions, you got to subscribe. $12 was reached AMC. I mean, yeah, did it go a little bit higher? Sure. But look, it held as a resistance. And we did mention one of the big problems yesterday was going to be that earnings report with people dumping into it. At the same time, GME, it was amazing. It was a very large move. Just under 350. Don't be greedy. In the future, if you want to learn from this, I always say, if you can learn from certain things, don't ever put your target at the round number. That's what every retail noob does. And you don't want to be a noob. You wouldn't be a pro. So to be a pro, what do we try to do? We try to put our order slightly underneath. If I was targeting 350 because it's GME, I would go for a 345. Let's go into the smaller time frames though and talk about that big sell-off. So here it is. Now, a few people have said this is clearly manipulation. Yeah, of course it's manipulation, but there is a few things that, from my perspective, I understand it this way. Now, I haven't read Wall Street Bets. I don't know what they're saying there. I'll just give you my take on it. My take on it is people are going to sell here. People are also going to instantly start closing positions as they see it go away from there. Now, what happens is it's an algorithmic trade. You can tell it's algorithmic because on both positions, it starts dumping hard. Is it manipulation from Wall Street? Yes. Is it something where you don't usually see this kind of speed? Sure, but it isn't unheard of in markets. Remember, indices during last year in 2020 were crashing down 14% with chunks, literally 1 to 2% chunks. That's trillions of dollars in seconds, like bang, 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 bang. This is the market that we're in right now. What happens is it triggers stop losses. It triggers tons and tons of orders and takes out all the lines. So illiquidity event occurs before it gets picked up. Is that a huge kind of stop hunt manipulation? Yes. But I believe it's more of an algorithmic based thing. And what happens is when it starts going down, that momentum creates all of the algorithms coming in, placing positions. That's the speed. You get heaps of people getting busted up. And as they all get busted up and chopped through, it's basically a huge fear event. Then people come in, $200 is reached, and you start to see buying support. So if we have a look here, what is this? Just underneath $200, it pretty much sells off into 200, holds the close there, and then instantly starts trying to buy back off that because it's a psychological number. So did it drop a lot? Yes. Do I think it's algorithms? Yeah, pretty much. And that is manipulation. The question now becomes is whether brokers are going to ban these pairs again. Now that we've reached 350, is this still a problem? Are they going to ban it? Are they going to freeze it? Who knows? Abe says, to be a pro, set it at 420.69, not a round number. Well, the problem is, Abe, would you have been pro? You could have gotten out at 345. Talk about Tesla? Oh, we will. Don't worry, Jack, we will. We'll talk about a lot. Smoking A's says, your content absolutely rocks. Try to watch every day. Thank you very much. Do you still like trading after this many years? Is it still fun, or have you experienced burnout? If I was not liking trading anymore, would I be here talking about it? Trading is a strange addiction, and I'm sure many of you have felt that. You have this, I don't like art. If I go to like a museum or something, I get bored. But for some reason, I definitely like looking at candlesticks. And look, it is still a passion. You will experience burnout. And you know what the key to that is try to only put a few hours in a day. If those few hours are coming to this stream, that's what, of course, I'll encourage that. But if you don't put in 10 hours in front of the charts, set your alerts, maybe coming through, watch some YouTube channels, watch some of your favorite sources, do proactive things that make sense. But in terms of burnout, don't be somebody that's sitting there, and you kind of have to at the moment because of the speed. If you trade in these, you almost always have to be there or have very quick alerts because they're too fast. But if you're generally trading, you'll set alerts for key levels and you do not touch the charts. Don't even load them unless those levels are being hit. That's why I like TradingView. Check out the description down below. Click the link there. Helps out the channel. Also, welcome 700 viewers already, 11 minutes into our stream. You guys are just the best. The support is out of control. So let's call it 50 was reached. What do I think about today's price action? So pre-market, we're actually down 9.43%. I do believe that yesterday's down day is not good for sentiment in this particular pair. It struggled. Everything, when it was all green days, the sentiment was amazing. Now we have shaken up some sentiment. So if we start to get freezes on stocks, or we hear of, let's say, certain brokers canceling the ability to trade these pairs, I would be worried. Look, that's how I feel about it. It's my expert opinion on this particular thing. I would be worried about that. That's just how I feel. If you go back over to the left-hand side, what happened last time? So it actually got crunched, rebounded, got crunched again, rebounded. So there could still be another rebound in it. and possibly a few of you might get your 420.69. Maybe that is a level that you should be watching on your charts. And I would actually probably put it up there because so many people have that number. So let's go with the 420. Let's go, there it is, 420.69. Just underneath probably, I'd go 412. I wouldn't go quite to the 420.69. I wouldn't have the diamonds for that. But yeah, be careful here. We're now in the, what I would call incredibly dangerous, incredibly volatile period where you'll see freezing on these pairs. You'll see massive swings and you could see bans coming through. What do you guys think? Do you think Robinhood will again ban the ability to trade GME AMC? Yes or no? Let me know right now. Big Newy. I like the name. Welcome to the Diamond Hands community, Big Newy. Salute to you. Good luck today and enjoy the amenities, I guess you would say. Which stock should I buy today, Llama says? Well, there's plenty of good ones. We'll take a look at all of them. Don't worry. So we're going to go through Tesla. We're going to go through Nasdaq in just a few moments. But my thoughts yesterday on this was, yes, it was algorithmic trading. There's no other solution that you could say could do this type of thing so fast. But it's that ability of wiping out lines and creating an illiquidity event that is so quick, so fast, that allows this stock to get so low so quickly. Let's go over to silver and gold. I do want to talk about these just briefly because I think silver's hitting a critical level right now. 2050 exponential moving averages resistance is met right now. And we have this trend line, which was dynamic support or was a support line horizontally, could act now as resistance. This is a problematic zone. I'm not too sure whether I'm bullish or bearish here on silver, but for me, if I was day trading it, I would go into the smaller time frames and I would be looking for specific changes of trend. Things like this. Peak, trough, lower peak, lower trough. When the lower trough comes through, what do we know? It's a change of trend on that time frame at a significant daily resistance. It becomes a key area and I'm interested in it. For anyone watching the gold analysis, yesterday we identified a flag. Now, I said a few times that is a pretty damn good looking flag and I haven't changed anything. It's the same start information that we had here. So there's some price action I want to go through here because it's valid to your stock trading. It's valid to your currency. I don't care what you're doing, your Bitcoins. This literally will work anywhere. Firstly, flag patterns are great when they form like this. I'll give you a top tip, and this comes from trading a lot of flags. I don't want to see flags that can't fly in the wind. And what I mean by that is if your flag pullback is coming to a 61.8 fib, no. We don't do that. I've traded some of those, they're bad. Try to never get a flag coming down underneath the 50% fib retracement. Think about what a flag's telling you. A flag is meant to be a coiling of the market, a slight retracement as it gets ready for the next move. If it's coming down too much, how aggressive is that trend? It's crap. We don't want to trade that trend. It's no good, guys. So the flag happened. It then closed above. Beautiful. Very nice. It then rejected twice. Even better. And then had the follow through. Very, very nice trading here from gold. Now it hit the first target. And why I say this is the first target is you'll notice over here the resistance again, 1740. So for me, this was definitely a zone I was very, very interested in taking advantage of. I know that it is in a longer term short right now, as in it's been bearish. So if I'm going to be counter trending on the smaller time frames compared to the big time frames, when you only have a stop down here and you have an entry here, your take profit is actually a 1.5 to 1. So if you're risking $100, you'd be making $150. I can't say no to that. What I could do is I could scale out of the order and then go for the rest for something like a 1760 from a technical perspective. So it's all about managing your expectations and your money. And I think gold is just a really great one to start with today. I know you want to do Tesla and everything else, but we will get around to it. A couple of donations coming in here. Big Man, $5 Australian. Thank you very much, Big Man. Thanks for your work and interacting with people, even if they haven't donated. I do try. Could you please look at John Deere? We certainly can, Big Man, in just a few moments. Thank you for the donation. Got another donation coming in here from Eka Aurora, Singapore, $2. Thank you. TA is fave dinner show now. Well, that's good. Can we look at JKS? Is that like jokes? Eka, no worries. Thank you. We'll look at both of those. I'll just keep going through this wrap up and then we'll get straight into those ones for you. So gold looked good. 1740 hit, beautiful, just shows it's working technically, and that's some of my thoughts there. Let's go into Bitcoin here, because Bitcoin is now starting to bull back off. I said in today's video that I expected it to come down somewhere around this 55,000. It got a little bit lower, 54. I don't really think there's any problems going on right now. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame, because that's my main kind of concern here. I don't want to see it under a 20 exponential on the 4-hour, so it didn't do that. It's bulling again now. 55,649, not bad. It's looking good. It has stopped before the 58,000. So I actually kind of feel like Bitcoin could consolidate. Look at it, it's nuts. But if Bitcoin consolidates, the more it consolidates up here, if it does break and close above, I don't care about the 58,000 zone anymore. I barely even care about the 60,000. I think it could be very explosive. So the longer it actually sits in this area, the more bullish I get on Bitcoin. If it goes underneath at that point, well, that's bad. That's kind of like a Tesla situation where it coiled at the start, at the top, around that 800 to 880, then went down. That's no good. So I would prefer it just sits here for some time. A lot of you will be saying, what are you talking about, you stupid Tom? I want it to get 75,000 tomorrow. Yeah, but if it does that, it's going to also have a mega crash in it, which is going to bust you up 20 to 30%. We know that's what Bitcoin does. So I prefer a little bit of slow and steady. If we're getting 10% every week out of Bitcoin, there's nothing wrong with that, yeah? Let's get some consolidation at this zone. We'll continue to watch it throughout the session, and that 2-hour is looking really nice. If it closes like this, engulfing candle will come through. US 100, just want to talk where that is. 13,000 being reached here. The big problem with 13,000 is going to be when you look at the NDX and you go down to like a 4-hour. We do have, or was it daily? I think it was daily. We do have the 20 daily here, and we do know that at a point that was our buy zone. So the 20 moving average is a resistance area. If we can get through this and close today, so 12,984, where are we going to open? 12,990. So the market is loving giving retail traders literally resistance straight in at the open, which is annoying. We've got 39.30 basically resistance for the S&P, and we've got 12,000, 13,000 level for the Nasdaq straight away on the potential open. Both points are resistance. I'm feeling pretty good about the Nasdaq because of its decline, because of everything, but this is really it. Once it closes through here, we go here. Once it gets through there, back in the highs. So there's some great gains here on tech stocks. And this is really the last point. I mean, there's not much else stopping it. I think even when we get up here, we've already shown that we're bullish at that point. So there might be a pullback, sure, but that will just be a dip for a larger move up. So it's very close to being back in out of correction territory and back in the bullish thing. We don't want more of these things though. Daily close downs. So I wouldn't like to see today open up, sell off, and not end green. Because if it does that, what do we know? Wall Street are again trying to trap retail traders into the tech stocks, and it's not good if it continues to happen. 2-3 days, that becomes bad. Let's do some of these donations now before we get into the rest of it. Tesla is coming up, don't worry, and our pre-market analysis of everything. Big man would like John Deere, so let's bring that one up. We've done some analysis on this before. What was the code for John Deere? Let me have a look here. I'm sure someone will tell me. Deere company is, why can't I say it here? DE. There we go. DE. Whoa. Wow. It's looking sweet. That is an aggressive trend. Wow, wow, wow. That is crazy. Is that serious? Why am I not in John Deere? That's phenomenal, that move. Very extended. But the trend is good right now. Pre-market 361. Huh. It hasn't touched a 20 moving average on a weekly, which we know is the corrective kind of movement here. I would be very happy with the position and I would be trading it, but I also would be very careful if it starts to look shaky, okay? And what I mean by that is probably going to be a daily sequence which looks like this. If you get a peak a trough, a lower peak, and a lower trough. Because of how extended this stock is, it's going really high up there. I would be a little bit worried if it did do this kind of sequence. Like, let's say it didn't break to a new high today because it's at the resistance. Let's say it creates a double top. The correction would probably come into something like that 20 exponential moving average on the weekly. That would be, even though the double top would just be predicting back down to 300, I would be a little bit careful. It's a very nice move. It's been incredibly consistent. Even this 20 exponential, that gapped underneath, sold, but that was only a gap. And then we go bullish. Yeah, I mean, the 20 moving average has just been a decent zone to pick it up. It hasn't exactly hyper extended away from that yet. So everything's bullish. Resistance is being met. There's no actual reason for you to say right now that it's going bearish or anything like that. I would just say underneath here would be a concern for me. That would then open up 300 and possibly a correction further, even if the stock market's bullish, just because this stock is crazy right now, back to the weekly 20. Looking good for now. Resistance 361. Good luck on that. Be looking at, set an alert here if you're long at the 330, just in case for potential little double tops on those time frames. The other donation we had here was $2, and that was for JKS. Okay, so this one's got structure and then broken below. What is the market capitalization? 2.1 billion for this one. Okay. Had a nuts breakout in September. They are in electrical products and product producer manufacturing. Here's a question for you guys. Do you think that... I'm a big fan of the future of buying like software as a service. What do you guys think about manufacturing companies? Do you like them or not? I'm not as much of a fan of manufacturing companies a lot of the time, but I am a huge fan of scalability on software as a service. It's an interesting discussion I was having today. So this clearly did break below. You can see that this was the point of support because look how the market interacted with that zone. Pre-market here, it is up 5.97%, which takes it to 47.18. If it does continue its bullish movement, it's going to have problems at this 55.79 because previously it was resistance, it was support, a huge amount. What I would do here is just take the distance of, let's call it the range, and I won't go heavy on the range because there was a lot of strange breakouts. So we'll go here, I think, basically through all these wicks, the middle kind of ground, and we take that as an extrapolation. You'll notice it went pretty much that level. And I never expect a short to go the full pattern length, guys. It usually goes a bit, but it doesn't go the full thing. So because it didn't go the full thing, I don't think that's a problem. It looks like it's completed what I would be looking for in this. It's not as low as maybe the 30, but yeah, I do feel like it's looking better. 4 hour would be the area. Look for this. So today it's going to be here. Pullback, new peak, resistance problem, close through 70. So there's some great zones here. I would be looking for the pullback, then maybe to here, then hopefully a pickup. The pickup will go back in. This will create the lightning bolt effect with the trough, the peak, the higher trough, the change of trend on a significant time frame like a 4 hour. We find resistance here. And then if we close through that, that's the catalyst that will get you to the 70 point. And 70 seems quite likely after it gets through there. Good luck on this one, and thank you very much for the donation. Apple will be doing it soon. Robert Rupp, US $5, tops shipping. We'll do that one. Thank you for the donation, Robert. This is TOPS, tops ships. Big decline that did come through from the $3.89 all the way down to the $1.80. Bounced off that zone. Previous resistances and supports acted as support again. It's in the problem zone, but pre-market is strong. Let's go down to the 2 hour. Let's go down to the 1 hour, see if we can get some more clarity on these levels. Just smashed that one, which is great. So that was a support. That would have been a problem for me. 200. simple moving average. I don't think that's that big a deal. 261 in the pre-market, which puts it straight into the resistance here. Does this matter? It's tough. It's in resistance. If it closes through here, I'm not sure if this matters, this point here. It's not super clear to me that it matters, but it may. That is the 274. It's not much higher. And then after that, you're smooth sailing to 3. 261, let's see if we can get a close above that. I'd be more bullish at that point towards the 3. It's not for me, this one, but just letting you know these are the key levels that are going to matter. There's only one other level that stops you before 3. Remember, participation, TA teaches us that when a level is broken and closed below or above, the market will move to fill the next zone. And that's the statistical advantage that you have as a TA trader, as well as your fundamentals. You can see the movement that it's trying to fill. So in this case, there is a little bit of a problem, 274 and then the 3. Good luck there, Robert, and thank you for the donation. Did you already talk about what happened on BTC today? I did. I already had a look at it. I just said that I think the pullback is fine. I'm looking at the 4-hour 20 moving average. And then from that point, as long as it holds and consolidates in this zone, the more it coils, if it can break out past the coil, it will smash those highs, guys. 58,000 will be taken out, and then it will make the next move towards 60. 60 is a psychological zone. I expect some selling just before it, but then if it gets through 60, 65. Every 5,000 is massive. Tech Boost says there was a lot of options for $300 and $400 GME. There would have been on Friday the 12th. So some of them, people and other hedgies that are betting a lot of money on GME going upwards. Yeah, so we did have options expiry. It makes sense that that would be a thing. Yesterday, we got asked a lot of questions about like people trying to place, I think it was next week options for things like $400 and $350. There were some pretty big strikes that people were asking about in the room for GME. If you're trading options, you must be aware that if everyone's in that trade and everyone's in those strikes and you see a huge amount of volume going through those strikes, it is in Wall Street's best interest to not, and I repeat this, to not allow them to be in the money on expiry. Manipulation of options is a big thing. I don't talk about it on this channel much at the moment, but I want to bring it in. I want to bring in options. I'm pretty good at calls and puts and straddles and everything else, like butterflies, etc. So when you're talking about actually using options to your advantage, you must understand that if there is huge volume at a strike, and I like to do things completely differently to other people, I look where no one else is looking, using TA and using my knowledge. And I'll teach you guys how to do that on the channel. But you must think about huge amounts of volume at a strike. It is very unlikely to happen. I've seen this happen in currency once. During the GFC, there was a put sitting on the Australian US dollar. I'll tell you the story. It was massive. We are talking massive, hundreds and hundreds of millions, billions of dollars. And the market sat there until the expiry occurred and then moved through after the expiry. I'm not kidding you. I had the Bloomberg terminal. I was watching it. On Bloomberg terminal, you can see a lot of this information. And it was a full-on dirty manipulation of that particular put. It was sitting there waiting for the expiry. And it wasn't going through. And it expires, bang, through. Crazy. So yes, with options, if it's your first time getting into it, take a look at how much trading's going on that and be very careful around those points. Tech Boost, you're correct. Lots of people with lots of money, that's for sure. Okay, MK, US $2. Will short sell rule affect sell-off of GME today? So the short sell rule, let me have a look here. Clem, could you send that to me if there's some information about short selling coming through? I'm not sure what you quite mean by that right now, but that's okay. I can look it up, and I will, MK, in just a few moments. Maybe someone in the community can enlighten me there. Jacob Mike's CZK50. Hello, what do you think about HCMC? I'm wondering if it's good time to go in. So we've done that one a few times on the channel. Oh, Tesla, just a few moments. We'll be there. We'll be there. HCMC. Ketchup blessed. I like ketchup. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, ketchup. James O'Leary, GM. We probably have a look at GM throughout the session. So this thing here has not been a favorite of mine because I don't quite understand it, but it has had some spikes in it. Now, the market capitalization here is very small. It's $178 million. $178 million is not huge, and therefore it opens itself up for more manipulation. So a few things that are happening. Volume has died off heavily. You can see that here. Volume is declining. It has definitely dropped off quite a lot. That means the interest isn't there. I think the big sell-off has occurred, and now we're in what you would call the consolidatory kind of holding. Now, this happened on GME as well, and that's probably why you're looking at it. You're thinking, well, I want to be there before somebody else gets in and everyone else gets excited about it, and that's totally fair enough. If you think about the 2 hour as well, it has made a series of higher lows and kind of like an equal high. This resistance at around this 0.002, which is a psychological number, over here it was as well, is probably the only area I would care about, and I would see how the market consolidates into this, and I would watch the volume. If the volume increases and it starts pushing in there or it closes above, that might be the trigger that you need to get into this position. But for now, it's probably finished its selling pressure. I mean, this selling pressure was intense. Even the trend lines that would have been going down, the steepness has stopped. And now the 0.02 is the key resistance that this must break through to get crazy again, to get up to the 0.004. The good news is the participation phase here is wide. So 0.003 doesn't seem to matter on this particular HCMC stock. It's all about getting to the 0.004. The short sale rule stops hedge funds from short laddering on the downtick. They can only short stock on the uptick. Is that new? Abe says HCMC looks more of a DD kind of thing than TA. No, doesn't seem to be doing anything right now. It's certainly not. It's in consolidatory period. It's in the boring period, similar to when GME hit that 40 and just kind of floated around. All the volume fell off. No one wanted it anymore, and then you saw Roaring Kitty get into it, and it really did change it up. Morning, Tom. What do you think of APPS? We'll check it out. We'll check it out soon. Okay, Tesla, let's do it. Then we'll go into... Oh, actually, I just want to just have a look here. Dollar index just reached the point that I thought it should find support. So if dollar index is going to find any support, it needs to do it here. I did expect this pullback. Let's go to the 4 hour. 50 exponential moving average. So you don't want to catch a falling knife because this thing is certainly selling off. It's made the peak, the trough, the lower peak, and that closure underneath there kind of gave me confidence that gold also would go up. But now that dollar index is here, it's all synergizing together. So we've got the stock market hitting a resistance. S&P 500 resistance for today will be 39.30. It's sitting around 39.24. US 100 Nasdaq is sitting at around 13,000. That's going to be resistance for the day. If we close through, that's big. And dollar index is now at full support, previous resistance support. Remember, if you're new to trading, all these things synergize together. And yes, that rule will definitely hurt the short sellers. So it's more difficult as well with the GME AMC thing if that rule's in for them to manipulate it. But you saw yesterday the power of algorithms getting through. So they've got tools. Don't worry about that. If they want to manipulate the stock down and they want to crush everyone, they can do it with other reasons. I already did do gold, yes. But this is one of the things that you want to look for on gold. If dollar index starts bulling here, let's say we see some structure on the smaller time frames, we see movements up, we see lightning bolts, we see double bottoms, all the things we talk about all the time on the channel here. That's the thing that I'd be concerned of if I was gold long, because that would mean that dollar is going long at the same time. That would mean risk off. Certain things would be happening. So it's all in now for dollar index to do well and do better here. Yeah, Binance is pretty good there, Brian. So Binance, I use Binance a bit on coins. Yeah. $77 US $4. Thank you for the support as always, Sandollar. You're the man. For the coffees, I need them at the moment. It's been a hectic week and very, very, very stressful in some ways for some reason. Probably too much sleepless nights. But thank you again for the donation. Do you see a head and shoulders on the SPY, rising wedge on the ES? The SPX, do I see those types of things? Not really. I mean, this is the problem with pattern finding. Yeah, I know what you're saying. And you could find these patterns anywhere. Just remember, it's not really about the pattern. It's about what that pattern's telling you about the price action. So what is an inverse head and shoulders saying? It's saying we were going down because this was a peak, this was a trough, this was a lower peak, this was a lower trough. Then we've moved up and we've made a new peak, we've made a higher trough, and then we've broken through it. That's all the sequence is. It doesn't matter about the pattern. The pattern just tells us that there should be a self-fulfilling prophecy between the head and the neckline. It's the cycle. Who cares about the rest of it? It's just the price action that matters. So for me, I've changed my opinion on patterns. Patterns are cool and they're great to spot, but don't worry too much about whether you're seeing one or not. It's incredibly convoluted sometimes. So that's why I always say, like with this one, usually in a recovery, like even a fast one like this, you're often going to have like what you think is a left shoulder and what you think is a right shoulder, which is going to be the pullback. It's not going to look that great. And then you can extrapolate this out and say, yes, that's where I think it's going. And I understand it, but I don't think it's that strong here. Okay, let's have a look at the pre-market. Let's check it out. Let's bring on the Webull here. So we have the Webull pre-market. I'm going to refresh it. Today, I do expect those banks to probably hold down and for tech to still hold up. We've got Futu Holdings up at 8.56%. We have Zillow Group 6%. We've got Teladoc. Didn't hold well yesterday. Interesting opportunity at the 184 considering everything else did well. Pre-market was good. I repeat that. Pre-market was about 4.5% for Teladoc and it sold off like that very quickly. Tesla, 4.42%, Baidu, Twilio, all of these things, Trade Desk, plenty of stocks here doing well, but still well underneath where they were 3-4 weeks ago. Will they return? Let's have a quick look at ARKK. ARKK now 121.50. Very similar to the Nasdaq in terms of the look of the fund. 120 was the previous support. It literally just looks like a carbon copy of the Nasdaq at the moment. So we'll have to continue watching that space. Let's check out Tesla. Let's do it for you guys. 697. I know so many people are in this. We've been doing a lot of analysis on Tesla and it's been pretty good. I think you guys would say we've been okay here. Together, we've gotten through this Tesla. We've figured out some good levels and we've managed to achieve some nice zones. So 660, I've talked about this to death. I've said here many times that I'm a massive fan of the 660 both ways, from the resistance area and the support area. This is another lesson as well. I'll give you another Tom lesson because I make this mistake a lot. And I think it's the FOMO mistake. So a lot of the times you'll see this happen where it'll break through a resistance, a key level in TA, and you'll think, I've got to get in, even though 720, I'll buy here. How many of you did that yesterday? A lot, probably. I'll buy here because Tom said, if it breaks through this zone, it'll gravitate to the next zone, and I'm feeling bullish, I've got FOMO and all these things. Well, firstly, don't listen to what Tom says. Make your own decisions, yeah? It is education only. But when it does move down, and it comes back down to this level, this 668, this becomes the point where you expect buying pressure to come back in. We had support and we had resistance, and it's perfectly normal for a stock to do that, especially when it made 20% the day before. So it comes off the back of making 20% on a massive stock. It bulls up. Can it hold that? It's unlikely to be able to hold that. It comes back down, hits the support, which was the support here, now is the resistance, and then bang. then you can get into it. So yesterday you had the opportunity to get in at a good level because you were a patient beaver. But most of us aren't like that. We're FOMOs all over the place. Greg Hartman, US $5. Thank you so much, Greg. Tom, thanks for the great content. Appreciate it, man. Can you look at EXPI? They are releasing earnings this morning. Prior to open, expect record numbers. Okay, we'll check that out in just a second here, Greg. Got another donation coming in here from Sal de Cristo. Thank you, Sal. Big supporter of the channel, US $4.99. Can you do ZG, please? Will do in just a few moments. And we've got a big donation coming in here from a big supporter of the channel, Matthew Tange. Thank you so much, Australian $20. Hey, Tom, I was wondering if you could briefly talk about Forex hedging. I have high odd US dollar risk since most of my money in assets is in the US dollar. Yes, we have a lot of that problem from Australia. What instruments could you suggest to hedge? Options, CFDs, thanks. Whew, it's a tough one there, Matthew, because at the moment, is it worth hedging? I will answer that question. Appreciate your $20 and we'll take a look at it. It's a good one for Australians because it's a real risk for us. We have a lot of currency risks, and so will the Europeans here, and so will the Asian audience and everyone else. If we trade the best market in the world, the US market, we have currency risk, and it's real. Like, it's wiped out people's gains in Australia for the S&P 500. You're probably only up half of what you should be if you were buying in March, and that's almost unbelievable, but it's true. So let's go through Greg's here. My thoughts on Tesla first, just to finish up, was this is still heavy support. Even if it sells off today, I expect 660, 670 area to find pressure. 720 is now the target that we must break through. Previous resistance again. We get through there. I don't really care about this zone. I don't know why exactly I don't care. But when you have a resistance with another resistance straight after it, it tends to matter less. It's not like it's a key psychological or anything. So my thought is boom, 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 maybe a small pull here, probably not, and then hopefully towards the 800. So in this 780, 800 range, there will be problems, but Tesla's looking good. It just needs to keep holding, and we'll continue to watch that Nasdaq. Let's do Greg's EXPI. So this particular one, we have been told that they are expecting record numbers, up 9% today. When do they release the earnings? Because is it already out there, Greg? Or not? $50 being reached in the pre-market. If the earnings aren't out, this has done the lightning bolt already. Trough, peak, high trough, high peak, consolidation underneath a psychological zone, and the pre-market is sitting pretty much on the resistance, which is $50. Previous resistance zones are right around there. Next level for this to get to, if it does, 57. But the price action has shown a bottoming effect and a hold above that zone if the earnings comes through. And this is, of course, a gamble on earnings, and you need to be careful about those types of things. Then the next fill target is around 57. You've got to do your risk reward to whether you think it's worth being in this position, especially with the pre-market up 9 already. So is it going to knock the lights out? If it does, movement towards 57 seems inevitable, and we close above that 50. If it doesn't, back down into the 45 probably, and you could even pressure the 40 with a really bad earnings. So my thoughts on that are those levels. Sal, let's take out ZG. I'm sure a lot of people appreciate this donation because ZG has become quite popular. This is Zillow. I believe ARK purchased a whole bunch of this as well. Here's your problem level instantly. I've been looking at this one myself. I don't own this. But yeah, that is your problem level. 153, you would almost think that 160, 159, probably 159 is a very likely event now that we've again had the lightning bolt effect on a significant time frame, such as the 1 hour. Movement to 159, I do expect resistance there. It may sell off. If it gets through, what are you looking at? Previous resistances here, very strong levels. These are clean areas, guys. Sometimes you have clean areas, and that just means even better TA. It's just so obvious and so clean, and the horizontals look good. So 177 resistance here, 159, a clear zone for me. I like both areas. I mean, it should get up there. What's the pre-market? It was pretty big before. 2.68%, 153, 4.53 yesterday, went as low as 125. It's a hyper growth stock, so it has risk, but the key resistances are very clean, and there's good percentages in there. So watch those levels, set alerts for them, and then of course make your own decisions there, Sal. Tech Boost says, take some popcorn while holding GME, and indeed. So Matthew coming in with that big donation, $20, and his question is about Australian US dollar. So this is a big concern for a lot of people out there. What can you do about hedge risk? Well, one thing you can do, Matthew, and I'm sure you're aware of this by now, is that there are actually funds, exchange traded funds, for taking maybe your core portfolio kind of concepts, like maybe you want to buy Nasdaq or S&P index. You can do so with hedged or unhedged positions. Now, commercial hedging is way cheaper than what we can do. So if you can ever buy the hedged version of what you're interested in an exchange traded fund, that would be the number one thing that you would look to, because it's so much cheaper. They usually use options to do it, but it can be hard to get Forex options, and not that many brokers offer Forex options. So that is a big concern. The other issue is that if you trade CFDs and you trade them backwards to try to, mitigate this hedge risk, is that they have a very high cost on them. So options are really the best way. Firstly, if you're doing it, yes, you would look for a longer term option and hedge in through that. Exchange traded funds are the cheapest, but you've got to think about the Australian dollar as a tool that the RBA looks to. This is the Reserve Bank, and this goes for any central bank out there in the world. The ECB do this, the Fed do this, everyone does this. They like to keep it in a range. They don't want it outside of a certain range. Now, where do the Australian RBA want this to be? They actually don't want it. And you can tell this because of the policy shifts that they do. They don't want it above 80, and they don't want it below 60. So there's a big wide range. So your risk of dollar badness now is getting less. And I'll explain why. The RBA doesn't need to have the policy they currently have, which is like bond buybacks. They're doing monetary policy to keep up with the Fed, keep up with the ECB, keep up with the rest of the world. They don't have to necessarily do it. So if we strengthen into something like an 81, what do we expect to happen? It's most likely going to sell back off that zone due to a policy change from the RBA. So we're in the kind of top end area, and therefore you're less likely to have a problem with your Australian converted into US dollar. US dollar seems to be basing as well. If you're down here, you almost certainly need to look at hedges. So as it's in the top end of the range between 70 and 80, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Underneath that, yeah, I'd be a bit concerned. And if it gets to 90, I'd be even less concerned. Look for options. I think Saxo do have them, and you can explore that as an option. Tilray, we'll check it out. We will check out Tilray. Have you ever looked into MICT? Yes, Kyle, we actually did look at MICT. I'll show you MICT. This was pretty funny. So I remember this on the stream. Let's go down here. Okay, this particular volume day. Remember we were looking at this, guys. Anyone that's been following the channel for a long time. I saw this and I was like, what is that? I was like, oh my goodness, this thing is barely moving with this much volume. It turned out there's a reason why. But particularly, yes, I have looked at MICT. Yeah, I may have done a little bit of a dabble. I dabbled here into here, but it wasn't that crazy. I probably won't re-look at MICT again, but I know that the volume was there. And when I saw that, and I saw the volume throughput, and I went on stock tweets, and everyone was going psycho about it, I thought, okay, maybe it will go to 3, and it ended up doing that. Went a bit higher, but this is TA. I didn't treat this as any more than you need to get in and you need to get out, and you need to do it quickly. CAD and odd are almost the same now, says Kevin. Yes. So usually options are the best, and you want to look at big ones. But if it's indices that you're trying to hedge, look for exchange traded funds that do that. Now, Bitcoin just hit 56,000, guys. So that's awesome to see. Let's quickly click on that. Very nice bullish action coming back through. There's the rejection. There's the movement. All as expected. All we need throughout this run, look to the left-hand side, okay? Learn from the history of the previous move. 20 moving average, 20 moving average, 20 moving average, 20 moving average. What time frame? 4 hour. When it got broken against, bad times happened. So for me, Bitcoin is about the 4-hour chart right now and the 20 moving average. We've already had one touch. We've arguably had very close to another touch. Now we're moving up. As long as we hold above the 20 moving average, it's all green, all good on Bitcoin. And again, the longer it holds in this zone, the more explosive the move is. And I don't care about that high. I care more about 60,000 now. I even talked about this quite a few days ago on TradingView. If you want to follow us, click the link in the description below. Come on over. I only have 18 likes here. That makes me a little bit sad, but that's all right. So I was talking about Bitcoin going towards 60,000 down here and my thoughts about each key level and what I expect it to happen. These are just little snippet bits. So if you want to, you can follow me there. Let's go back over to the chat. Are you going to check AAPL? I think it will get back to support as it closes below the resistance. Yeah, we will. And we'll do GM because a lot of you want to take a look at that as well. And Tilray, it's all coming up. Tilray did get beaten down yesterday to $24. So 122 in the pre-market here for AAPL. Is that strong? Is that weak? Well, it's up 2.23%. Yesterday was actually down 0.91. It's not the flavor of the month, is it, as old Apple? Usually Apple would bounce a lot more than this. It's in fact weaker than the index. It's weaker than the Nasdaq. Strange. Very strange. Big hello as well to the 1,500 people joining us here. We are only less than an hour into the stream, very early for a lot of Americans. So thank you very much for getting up with the coffee and getting ready. If we get to 500 likes, you guys know what time it is. Smash the like button. Alex says it. Alex, you were thinking what I was thinking. Smash the like button, Alex says. Appreciate that. And I do appreciate all of the community support recently. Here's the resistance 122 on the daily. Lots of strange closes and not that much bullish action here from Apple. Go into the 4-hour because there are concerns over earnings in terms of just full valuations here. It's choppy and incredibly hard to read. What is going on here? So we can kind of discount some of it. We know the 121 is strong. If you're thinking of where does it pull back to, if it pre-markets at 122.65, well, that probably means that it's going to try to pull back to this 121 zone and it should find some buying support there. I don't see it going much lower than that today as long as the market stays bullish, as in relatively bullish, but it comes to the Nasdaq. If the Nasdaq closes above 13,000, Apple will bull. Next zone is 128. That's a clear area. 128, big issues. That's where the resistance will come in, and that will synergize with that Nasdaq thought process as well, being the QQQ to around 124, 125. They all synergize together. When you've got a big stock that's basically 10% of the Nasdaq, it makes sense that it needs to actually move up. And Apple is one of my pre-market falling kind of stocks. If it starts falling, like we saw here, we knew we were in a correction in tech. That's what happened. Same with Tesla, two large companies in the market. Apple will rise because I bought it at 117, says Kevin. Are you sure that's how it works there, Kevin? I'm not sure if it works that way. How about Neo? Well, Nathan, you'll be happy with the pre-market there on Neo for sure. At some point, PLTR would be much appreciated. Christopher, we do PLTR every session. Don't worry. All the ones you guys love, we do. Some of the meme stocks and some of the new ones that are on stock tweets, I check it every day. And I'm like, I hate that stock so much. I want you guys to get even better at picking high quality positions and then making good money from them. If you are always in these kind of to the moon stocks, you do risk losing a lot of your capital. You got to be careful there. Speaking of to the moon stocks and scariness, let's have a quick look at Tilray. Pre-market now is up 7.88%. Tilray continues to have strong pre-market sessions with weakness through that period. Now, I've talked about it down at 20. I talked about it here as well. I actually think that weed stocks could have a run on them if the GME AMC situation kind of boils over and starts moving down. And we'll look at those again for you guys soon. Yeah, I feel 26, because of its usual ways of gapping up hard and not being able to hold it. So when it seems to not gap up hard, it moves through for the day. But this is a pretty large gap up. 26 in the pre-market. I wouldn't expect it to be able to hold that. 28 is the resistance. So there's not that much profit as well in there left. I mean, $2 is a lot, but for this stock and the risk that you're taking, maybe not that much. Clear alert. I've had it set for a while. 28 is my alert set. 24 is okay buying because previous support, and it has moved up now. But yesterday didn't hold. Potentially today, the pre-market move may be a little bit fake here. Be careful in Tilray for the fake moves in the pre-market. Jager Croft, Canadian $5. Can we please look at NCTY and give us your thoughts if the market represents their new purchases of more Bitcoin mining machines? Okay, thank you very much, Jager. You always support the stream. Appreciate that. I've also got another donation coming in here from Russell Friedlander, probably. Sorry about that, Russell. $5. Hi, Tom. Appreciate all the TA. It's very insightful. Thanks very much, man. Would you mind looking at HSP? Oh, SHSP. I must have been thinking about those HSPs, if you guys know what I mean. Delicious food. Good morning. What's your price estimate for GME by the end of March? That's a super wild, crazy number. Anyone that tells you they know what's going to happen to GME by the end of the March is insane. I'll say that. They're insane. There's no way that you could know what's going on until March. I'll take a look with the community, though, at my thoughts. At Mark M, I'll just do this before I do the donations. At FX Evolution, I just bought the FXE Master Course. Any suggestions on how to get the most out of it? So I assume you bought the Technical Analysis Master Course. I actually suggest whether even if you think you may be maybe an intermediate or advanced or anything, go back over and do each and every lesson. Specifically do the quizzes that myself and my business partner wrote. Those quizzes will help you a lot, Mark. They're designed to make you really think about price action in a different way. And then, of course, focus on the advanced section at the end there to get the percentages correct with the candles. It's something that's the secret sauce that I don't talk about necessarily on the stream, but it's in there. So good luck, Mark. Go through it, spend a weekend on it, put in the time, do the quizzes. I'll watch. And if you fail, I'll call you. Oh, the joker, bro. Good luck with that one. Okay, we have the donations. Let's do it. NCTY. Whoa, that's got a crazy name. Pre-market 7.89%, like everything up about 8% today, 55.50. Well, firstly, I like the price action. I like it a lot. So it has been higher, 65. This is the market represents their new purchases of more Bitcoin mining machines. So they have Bitcoin mining machines. Well, firstly, from a TA perspective, I like a lot this support. Now, it's broken and closed above. It had it gapped up, couldn't hold, gapped up, couldn't hold. That's not exactly great, but it did come down to the right level. 55.50 pre is going to open it around here. There's a lot more for it to move than that because you can take the double bottom range now and you can extrapolate that out to the peak and work out whether that is pricing in correctly. It really pushes to a 77, so there's more action here potentially if this result is good. I also do like one other thing about this double bottom, and that is the wick off the right-hand side. Now, sometimes you'll hear of people call them Adam and Eve double bottoms. I won't go through the whole thought process behind that, but realistically, if you have the right-hand side here being a really aggressive candle, so that is a wick purchasing candle that moves very quickly, very fast. What's that telling you about market sentiment? Yeah, we got down here, but the number of buyers here was insane. There were people, they were lining up, they were queuing up, and they weren't just buying there, they were buying the whole way through that candle very aggressively when compared to last time. So the sentiment is better here. Double bottom pattern is in this stock. Good luck with it, 55.50. My thoughts on Bitcoin mining machines, if that's what they're doing and Bitcoin's going up, then it would be a positive, wouldn't it? So right now, Bitcoin's 56,275. Because Bitcoin's that high, you would have to think it is a positive to the stock position at this stage, Jacob. Russell, you had the donation here for SHSP, Sharp Spring. Market capitalization is small on this one, 245 million. Pre-market 1951. Well, firstly, you do not want this thing under 19 with any significant closes. We'll have a look at the daily, because it's kind of looking head and shouldery in some ways, but it's more just this is a critical, very important zone it cannot break against. It's kind of like when AMD, and you look at AMD and it's sitting on that support and then it closes below it. Now, if it closed below that support the other day, it would have been brutal for AMD. It would have literally lost $10 to $15 very quickly. It didn't, so that was lucky. Everything comes down to the 19 here. Don't let this thing get underneath, because if it does, it will reprice to 15, and that will be kind of nasty, and unless you're shorting it. Movement up, you're looking at around this $23, and the longer it holds in here, just look at volume increases if it's just kind of hovering. Certainly no problems with it other than it's on that level. And what is this? Yes. Look, kind of there. Perfect. All right, so you've got a lot of great analysis that you can do here. Trend line down, series of lower peaks coming through. You want that to bust off. 1950 ain't going to do it for you. It's basically still here. So I would like to see a new high formed, and then you can be confident that you have taken out the downtrend. That's a good analysis line that we've just drawn there. I like it a lot, and I need it through here. So right now, I'm neutral. I'm completely neutral on this position. But if it starts to make the right moves up, you start to think technically, yes, it's looking strong. If that was anything else, I would be thinking the same things. You've got to wait for it to get through this downward trajectory. Because if it breaks through that 18, it's going to be brutal down to 15, and you'll be kicking yourself. Good luck there, Russell. Thank you for the donation. Neo, Bitcoin's on fire. Yep, it is. Omar says, Tom, hello. Can we please see Amazon? We'll see if we can do that a little bit later. We had some other ones. Punch says, this looks like a fun channel. Anything to say about new Roblox? We'll talk about it soon. Are we at 500 likes? Get us to 500 likes, guys. We need hype today. Get us to 500 likes and we can hype ourselves up. Be excited for a great day, being Thursday in the market. All green, all good. Quick pre-market check before we go over to some of the others, Palantir, etc. about coming up. Futu, SEA, CrowdStrike up 4.43%, Zillow 4.13%, some are down a little bit more than they were before, Tesla 3.97%. Remember, the pre-market is a dangerous retail tool. Don't fall into the first couple of hours of hype recently with it. We have seen the hype be so obscene in the first hour. Like, we start this stream at 10, it's now 11:05 for me, my time, and I've seen so many like 10% on the open, and then it goes down to 5. So be careful in the pre-market. We'll talk through the streams of how to take advantage of that each way. For the GME and AMC crowd, we have a 7.35% down on GME right now, and AMC is actually up 8.93. It got smashed more because of the earnings result, which was always going to be a concern for people. Now, after the market, it's 1072. So it's way more bullish than GME right now through that result. Oh, we got past 500. Whew. All right, we'll keep doing some analysis and then we'll get into it. PLTR up 3.64, 25.65. Good work to everyone. Trend line has been broken through, held above. That's good. Daily here. I don't like it how you guys can't hold a green day. What is going on here? I hate this. I'm sick of these red days not being able to hold. That's what I'm saying with the pre-market though. Palantir is a nasty pre-market beast. All of these pre-market buying and then selling into it. Look, it's holding a good area. That's fine. But pre-market's been nasty on this one. So 25.61 the pre-market. It's holding above the area, which is important, which is cool. As long as we keep holding here, we're going to move towards the 28, and I maintain 30 is the issue. I don't see any other problems here on Palantir. Let's have a look at volume. Volume's important to bring into this one to see whether people are getting hyped all over it. Volume spiked up slightly yesterday. It's on this slight increase here from the low. So you can see volume increasing, which is nice. That's a good sign. Price is increasing, volume is increasing. If we had green candles, I'd be even happier. But let's hope today can get another green candle. And if it does, I think sentiment is switching on Palantir towards the 28. So watch the daily close on this one as much as possible. But everything holding above 22.56, that was the absolute worst thing that could have happened if it got underneath that. That would have been the worst thing. Some dude on CNBC yesterday said AMC will go to $1. Wrong. Because they will never recover from the debt they are in. Debt's cheap though. Debt's cheap. Also, they do have assets that they can sell. I haven't looked at their fundamentals that much. I know some of you guys are into it a lot more than I am. I just look at the technicals, and we've been pretty good at picking the technicals together. But yeah, from a fundamental perspective, I'm not sure about the whole dollar thing. PLTR earnings on March 15th, I think. Someone else might be able to confirm that, or we'll be here live looking at that one. If the earnings are good and everyone gets very happy with it, then that will be an exciting point. All in Roblox or CPNG, says Michael. Oh, you're asking me which one? Oh, I'm not sure about that. I'm not that much of a fan of Roblox like everyone else is. Smoking A says, I bought Palantir because of the Lord of the Rings reference only. I love it how people just buy things for no reason. It's great. So funny. He said a penny. Well, that's way worse than $1. Penny is bad. JC, I5M, and FX Evolution. Father Tom, are you aware you can speak into the DTCC rule change and what it may mean for future squeezes? I need to educate myself a little bit more on that one, JC, and I will for you guys. Tomorrow, I'll speak on it in some big, maybe for some period of time. I'll actually write it down. I don't like talking about things that I haven't really done any research on. So this rule change, I'm just looking it up. So I've got the document here. I think it's a big thing, but I don't think it's that big. And you can see yesterday some of the action that can happen. Remember, you can still create algorithms that do something, and when that happens, it can create a flashing effect where all of them jump in. So I think it's a big deal, but maybe not as big as others. I will check it out. Okay, let's do it. I'm ready for some hype. I think we need it today, guys. Big greens across the board. Just to repeat, 39.30 is our resistance area for today for the US 500. 13,000 for the Nasdaq. That is going to be the resistance zone. It is all green, all good on tech. Most of the stocks that retail like, you and me like, are up, which is good. And we will continue to watch Bitcoin throughout the session. 56,000 on Bitcoin. We'll go through some of the alts in just a few moments. I'm ready for this one. Let's do it. You probably just got your ears blown off. That's okay, because it's worth doing it. So for all the GME crowd, the AMC crowd, the Tesla bulls, you guys have experienced great highs and great lows. But ultimately, well, at least I think Tesla will prevail. And I hope you other guys do too. Let's do it. Oh, that was us recently. So this is us now. Now, I've had some very good suggestions for memes as well, so I'll be upgrading the memes on the back there. Thank you so much for putting them in the Discord. If you want to join our public Discord, just click on the link in the chat room up above that I've pinned. Come join us. Come join the community. Let's get us to one of the best on the internet. I already think our chat room's the best, but if we can get our Discord even better, why not do so? Sharing is caring in the world, as I always say, from a technical analysis perspective and fundamentals. Okay, we've got a donation coming in here from Matt Mazer. Thank you very much, Matt. US $5. Good morning from California. Do you have any experience using the long position tool on TradingView, measuring PL and stop losses? Yes, I do have some experience. Look, what I would suggest is, actually, Matt, I am going to do a video on it. So I'm going to do 2 videos. I'm going to do a video on how I set up TradingView, and then I'll do a video on actually using the tool. May kind of answer this a little bit later on. If you want to at me, you can have like a free stock or something you want to look at. I appreciate the donation, but I am saving that for a very specific video that I'll be doing over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So check that out on the channel. Make sure you subscribe, and I will be covering how to do all of the kind of measuring tools, how to do setups here, some of the things I like, and I'll actually be even delving further into it myself to make sure that I can give you guys some of the best tutorials from a trader's perspective and an investor's perspective for TradingView. I have plans there, Matt. So stay tuned for that one, would probably be what I would suggest. Redwood Park 10, US $5. Morning, Tom. Is there a place to find up to the minute price target from analysts? I see reputable people on Twitter post them. Love the hype video. Thank you very much there, Redwood Park. So when you say price up to the minute price targets from analysts, are you talking about like Reuters and Bloomberg analysts? If you are talking about those, then generally speaking, they don't update stocks that often. You will always get like an average price, if that's what you mean. Like FinViz's one's completely balked and no good. I would suggest some brokers offer you the service. They offer you like an average Reuters price for the stock, and usually that's where I get them. I used to have Bloomberg Terminal. They upgraded quite recently, quite a lot. But yeah, FinTweet or FinTwitter kind of areas are a good source of free information. If anyone in the room knows where to get up-to-date kind of like free average prices, I've got a paid service, so I guess I wouldn't suggest that. But if someone does, let us know right now. I would suggest removing all the chat when playing the intro. I enjoy watching it. I bet I'm not alone. Oh, you mean not me not talking, Wolfie? I can do that. Give me a break. So does anyone have for Redwood Park a free service in the US or a broker that offers an average price target from analysts? Now, do not use those targets as gospel. What you want to do is, let's say on Reuters, an old boomer stock. Let's say it's Disney. Well, no, Disney's too new now. It's got too much stuff. Let's say it's JP Morgan. Okay. So if we have JP Morgan and the price is here, and they're thinking the average price is here, and it says 26 analysts, you can pretty much be assured that if you have 26 analysts thinking the price is here, and you're getting a base formation with the closeout, that there'll be a lot of analysts, a lot of people in the stock world, investors, people that work for investment firms, they say to their client, hey, check out this piece of paper. Everyone thinks 26 people think that it's worth more. They think it's worth up here, it's down here. It's a very convincing story. So that's part of the reason why if a stock's moving up technically and you're getting a closeout, it's worth using that. But on tech stocks, I find the analyst reports almost useless. And in fact, FinTwit guys are way better and more in tune with what companies are worth. I mean that. Muji, I've shouted him out a few times here. He's pretty cool. He's on Twitter. There's plenty of people in the FinTweet. I think Twitter's way better than YouTube, by the way, for this. The shilling on YouTube is a little bit extreme. So go check out some of the Twitter guys. They are good. Saxo offers it. That's in Australia, Saxo. I'm not sure in America. ETH, please, Tom. We'll check that out. AMD, yeah, we've got Amazon as well. Carol here, PLN $10. Thank you so much. GME, my position is 261 shares, plus 30%. Stay or out. So whether you have the diamond hands or not on AMC and GME, well, in this case, GME. Let me go over to the position. You're up 30%. Well, the risk is really here now. So after yesterday's move, it's not like it was. with those dailies, we'll go back to the daily. With those dailies as they were, this was just absolutely beautiful. Now we're back in this. We're back in the crazy action of insanity. And I would say that at some point now, you are going to get some wild swings, not just like yesterday, but it will continue to be this way. Yeah, I mean, for me, I was big on this 350. People are big on the 420.69. You can watch today's session. I've always maintained one thing about the way that GME trades and the way that AMC trades. It's all about the first 30 minutes. If the first 30 minutes are green, that session generally is good. If the first 30 minutes are red, it is a bad day. So pre-market is down 7.92, but that doesn't mean much. When the Robinhood crowd can trade, when everyone can get back in, plus with those rule changes that I'll definitely upgrade myself on, 30 minutes is what is key. So I would continue to watch this one, Carol. Good luck. Check out the sentiment and then make your own decisions based on what you're seeing. What is going to be the support buying today? It could be as low as down in this 200 range. Let's go in the 15-minute chart and try to understand what just happened. So we had the 275. I've maintained that's a very important resistance the first time. See how it was resistance through the session? Now we had that 240 as well. That was based. I think this is an anomaly, so we can basically cross that out. Ignore that. So we're stuck within really the 240 kind of area and the 275. If it goes back up to 275, it may find resistance there. If it goes through this zone, it's going to gravitate towards the 200. So there's really three key levels that we want to be watching. And I do think that a close under here floats down to 200. A movement in this range is pretty normal. A move above 275 re-exposes the 350. It re-exposes that zone. Thanks so much for the people that are joining us today. 1,776 people viewing the stream. Actually, it's 1,800. Donations coming through and some new members as well to the Stonk Squad and Diamond Hands community. So I do appreciate that. Mushroom Cap, $4.99. This is my first ever super chat on YouTube. Wow. Thank you very much. No Cap. Thanks for the daily, weekly live streams. Can you take a look at Link and LTC? Certainly can, Mushroom Cap. We'll do that in just a few moments. We've also got ETH to look at. PLTR earnings is in late May. Yeah, I thought I had some the other day, so that would make sense. Quite a while away. What is LTC? It's a crypto, Yuan. Alina Classic, $5 says, hydration check, big fella. Thank you very much. Don't worry, I've got plenty of hydration. It's all good. I'll take a sip, though. Why not? Thank you very much for the $5 donation there. Mushroom Cap, let's go over. Some people will like your donations because they wanted me to look at all of these. We'll check ETH first, then we'll go to LTC. So ETH has a nice little rejection that happened. It's starting to find some weakness, but it's consolidating here. I would want to see follow through on ETH. So what I mean is bullish hammer is all good or pin bar is all good, but there's no follow through quite now. Break this down to a percentage and I want to see at least 10% higher plus close above 1800 would be key here. And ETH could be in some consolidation. If it breaks past the resistance, I say straight to 2000, of course, no big issues there. Must hold here. 4 hour, 20 moving average, pretty important zone. We go over to the left-hand side to learn what happened in the past though through the runs. ETH incredibly choppy through this run up here from 1400. It had some big falls into the 50 even further. So it doesn't seem to care as much as Bitcoin did. Bitcoin just went 20 moving average, 20 moving average, 20 moving average. So follow through is needed by ETH pretty much now if possible. Let's now talk about LTC. LTC was good. LTC was good. We use eBay. Well, that data looks nasty for some reason. We won't use that. All right, I'll use the Kraken data. Why not? That's better. Higher lows here have me confident in LTC. Look at the trend line. Just respected it. No close below the trend line. Because that's bad. That will be like a silver situation. 1 touch, 2 touches, 3 touches, 4 touches, 5 touches. And we had the resistance being put under pressure again at 204. We're now trading just underneath 200. Moving average is also holding, being the 24-hour moving average. One of my favorites in cryptocurrencies right now. I like the LTC level. I believe that if we can clear this high, we are going to 240, and it will be relatively quick, and it won't be that much problems on the left-hand side. There's just not that many problems there. 220 might be a slight problem, but then 240 becomes the ultimate goal, and this trend line should follow it through. So if you don't have this trend line on your chart for LTC, put it on. Series of higher lows. It's a beautiful thing when you get those kind of higher lows. Great stuff. Next one, Link. Let me use the Kraken data again here. Now, Link also has the higher lows. Few of these altcoins do. Support, 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 support. Almost the same type of chart, except for in this case, we did get a close out above on a 4-hour, which doesn't have me, I'm not happy about that, because I think that if you have a close above, you should be continuing on. If a technical doesn't work, where it breaks through and then it fails to continue on, that makes me usually a little bit more skeptical of the TA on this particular coin. So Link is on support right now. If you're looking at buy zones, previous resistance, previous resistance, previous resistance acting as support, it'll be a fib, like 50% pullback-ish level of this move. If it's going to find bullish pressure, it's going to do it right now, right here. A closure underneath this is bad. A new low here would signal selling into 26, and I'm sure you don't want that. So close under here, movement down to 26, bullish movement here, back to 32, and then hopefully 34, 36 kind of area. Litecoin and Link seem to be kind of synced from a TA perspective. So watch that space there, Mushroom. Thank you for the donation. Antonio, Heartbreak Kid Tom, Shawn Michaels or something, hey? How is US 500 looking? It's looking fine. 39.30 is the resistance for the day. 39.24 currently up 0.38, mostly driven by tech. US 100 or Nasdaq will be what I'm looking at. It is all about getting through the 13,000 level for the Nasdaq, and it is sitting at 12,971 pre-market. So pre-market's going to open up hot into the market, I expect. If it can hold those zones, then you can see the next movement on. Mushroom says, thanks, Tom. No worries, man. ADA, what's going on here? Boring coin right now. It's great technology, of course, but it is in a holding pattern. ADA does not look strong. It kind of just looks weak and lackluster. So the hype is not on this one. If you're going to set alerts for where the hype comes back in, maybe above 1.2 is worthwhile. Anything underneath that, I'm not too interested in from trading perspective. Obviously, you may hold it long. The dot trade, so this was the one with the symmetrical triangle on it. I'll draw that back up and our thought processes behind it. Here it is. Remember, things can be lost if you forget to leave the things on your chart. So here is what we had. We had a symmetrical triangle for dot. It's still holding the space. It's still holding relatively strong. We move it up. It still predicts that $50. And it's the point where it has to do it now. Again, a breakout above, a retracement to the trend line is okay. It's pretty normal, but it's got to do it like today, tomorrow. Like it cannot continue sitting around here. If it keeps sitting around here, that is becoming like a pattern that isn't forming anymore. And I usually cut and run on trades like that. So I would basically say, okay, well, I might have entered in here at this closure candle. I might have even re-entered a little bit here. If it just sits around in this zone and kind of peters out, well, am I losing that much just cutting it and moving on to the next one? Not really. Sometimes you've got to take a small loss if you recognize that it isn't doing what you want. It's the next evolution of your trading system, taking small losses when it doesn't do what you like. A few people in here from Sweden, welcome. Atlas Artist Sweden. Hey man, from Sweden here. Okay, there we go. Enjoying your stream a lot. Thank you. Do you look at stocks on smaller stock markets as well? I have interest in a company that works with a second generation vaccine for COVID-19. Look, we look at everything. If people donate a stock to me, I've looked at European markets, I've looked at UK, Australian markets. It doesn't really worry me. It's just a TA. I could be looking at anything, orange juice, coffee. It's all really just TA. And the same methods I use will work across all of the concepts, except I do say with soft commodities, you're running a lot of problems with weather. So if you're new to trading and you ever think, someone says, trade wheat, don't do it. Yeah, understand what you're trading before you do it. Wheat smashed me. Stupid tornado hit the crops. It was bad. It gapped open. I remember, down about 15 grand. Stupid wheat. But you learn. Don't make that mistake. Don't do it. I did that one. TA should be TA on pretty much everything. What it isn't on though is if you have a stock that's just IPO'd, you've only got like 3 months worth of data, don't TA it. It's not going to work. Also, TA is about learning from the past history of the stock and moving it forward. So to recap the markets here, we've got US 500 approaching that 39.30 resistance. We'll notice if you go to the SPX or SPY, this is the zone that we expect resistance at. A closure above this today would be incredibly bullish for the broader market, and we should move back to using our trend line, which is here, and looking towards the 4,000, if not higher. So the correction will be completely over at that point. It already looks quite good in terms of the broader markets looking like it's recovering quite nicely. But yeah, that would be the zone. US 100, tech 13,000 is the important level for it to close through. A move above that will expose into this 13,300, which is which on the QQQ is a 324. It's even cleaner here. I would suggest you usually use the NDX as a code in TradingView for your analysis. Dave G says, now I know why Tom hates soft commodities. I hate tornadoes. I hate them because they hurt people, but also they hurt me. At FX Evolution, have you been looking at lithium related stocks lately from Brett C? I haven't really, no. Lithium is something that has like, it's like marijuana stocks. They have like these massive spurts where everyone goes, it's so rare, it's so amazing, it's so great, it's going to make me the next $1 million. And then it gets just crushed. It just gets destroyed. So you've got to be kind of careful of lithium stocks. I'm not a huge fan of some of those. I like to stick to, like for me right now, moving forward is probably going to be software as a service is one of my biggest areas that I think is just so strong moving forward. I love scalability, and software as a service makes sense to me. Automation makes sense to me. There's some of the growth areas. And from the older style of things, like, you guys know I love the Disney. I like the McDonald's. I got a bit of the Buffett, those types of things. What's Tesla doing in the pre-market? 4%. Let's have a look at the Webull checker as well. What's going on here? Let me have a look. 7.75% Fudu Holdings. Zillow Group now 6.58. Not bad. Two Zillow groups. Z and ZG. Tesla 3.94. Spotify 3.63. Let's have a look at the crazy stocks. See what's going on there. Damn it. I took it too fast. Stupid Avio. That's when pharmaceuticals go right. So that's definitely an FDA approval. I probably should have brought it up on the stream. I've had this one in here for a while. Look at it go. 89% yesterday. And then it went up 22 again today. Stupid thing. Anyway, that's all right. So they would have got their FDA approval. GameStop, 4.06%. COS down 8.85. Remember, COS is the risky kind of one. Yesterday, it had a 69% squeeze on it. It's very, very small market cap, which makes it easier to squeeze. But GameStop, 254, up more than it was. So the pre-market's starting to get strong again for this position. That's good. Tilray dropping in the pre-market. AMC 6.5. Churchill, Palantir, all the rest. Disney World Down Under. We don't have any Disney World here. I've been to a few though. At FX Evolution, do you think tech will open higher than consolidate like yesterday? Yeah, I think it'll open higher. It'll have some hype train through the retail community getting in, and then you might see a little bit of a pullback. Remember, 13,000 is a problem on the Nasdaq. You might breach 13,000, then sell off after it, then move back up above 13,000. That's the type of thing that I would expect there. Welcome to the 1,900 viewers today coming into the stream. I appreciate all of you guys. Remember to let's see if we can get those likes above 1,000, and if you like what you're seeing, consider subscribing. It does help us out, and we're on the road to 50,000. I don't know where we are. Let me have a look. Where are we? 50,000. Amazing. 47,200. So we're very close now to the 50,000. If I can get that 100 over time, I'll be just so happy. It's always been a dream, and for sure a lot of people out there, content creators, all want the 1,000. Are we live? Yeah, oh boy, we certainly are live. Mike Lee, $5. What do you think about Workhorse? Workhorse is lost a lot of the interest in it. Now, it is formulating down here, but this particular stock got hyped up out of control. Then the reality set in of the situation. But there is still volume here, interestingly. So the volume is still here. Look at this particular day. Huge volume came through out of nowhere. And yes, there was a big range, but that volume is still large. 1620, 1.63 up. In terms of basing formation, it's doing the right thing. It's finding the base. The resistance is at 20. And until it gets above 20, I don't see much action on this that interests me, because I would rather have explosive action on something like this, because I'd be trading it more than investing in it. 25 would then be the next target, and 30. We've got the lines here because we've done Workhorse a few times. But after it lost, this one's the one that lost the contract, I believe. It's a big deal. I mean, that was a huge amount of hype. It was kind of like CCIV. CCIV were all hype, and then the result came out and it went through. From a lesson like Workhorse, what I would suggest is retail buys the rumor so hardcore that the fact is no good. And you can tell this happens in many stocks. We talked about it with Tesla. Tesla is hard to justify current price with the earnings. So if the earnings are anything to go off, you go off the last couple of earnings. Generally, Tesla has been dropping around the earnings and actually selling off after the earnings. Now, why is this occurring? Because there is a lot of hype in here, and Tesla is often buying into it, the earnings, or at least, not really performing well around that point. So here was a buy into the earnings, and then the earnings was no good. Apple is well known for this. I would say through 10 years of trading Apple, almost consistently it runs into the earnings, and it is a buy the rumor, and it almost didn't matter what they announced during those points. It was a sell the fact. It also ran into the events. Now, back when Steve Jobs was doing events, and I miss Steve Jobs. He was so good at presenting. He got me hyped. I still remember when he was like, imagine an iPod, an internet surfing device, and a phone, or whatever else he said. And he just kept saying it. Then he just goes, the iPhone. And I was like, for some reason I was hyped about it. I don't know why. But he just wore that black shirt. It was pretty cool. Shame that he went through. But yes, I always think, know the stock that you're trading and understand who's trading it. Bitcoin is hype as well. It's traded by retail traders. Anything that we trade as a community usually is buy the rumor and sell the fact. Matthew Tainch, Australian $5. Thank you for Forex hedging information, Matthew Tainch. Before, have a look at CN50 US dollar for entertainment. Try and decipher what's going on there. Do I really want to look at this one? Thank you, Matthew, for the donation. Let's have a look. Will it annoy me? CN50 US dollar. Can I make sense of this? Oh, well, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. This is the Asian market, Asian 50. Well, the thing about these markets is they always have boom and busts. There's nothing quite like the power of, people in Asia will know this. If you get the power of like everyone kind of getting involved in something to make money, I have never seen pile-ins like I've seen in China. If you look at the Shanghai index over a couple of years ago, people often forget how insane that was. The move was crazy. Like, can I get Shanghai comp here? Let me just load this up first. Look at this. Look, this is an entire index. 2014, it sits 2,000 points. And remember, look over here. It's not unknown to do this. There's pile-ins like nothing else in the Asian market. So if you're wondering, oh, well, maybe I want to branch out past the US market, I don't mind indices in the Asian markets during certain periods. The Indian market's doing the same thing right now. So here it is. And then it goes up to 5,000 and it does so plus, and it does so in a year, basically 18 months. Is that sustainable? No. The CN50 is going up, but not like that pace. So the increase here, let's go across. It's big. It's like 1,400 from the peaks, but that was a multi-peak. So remember, this is 15. It peaked at 1,400. It peaked again. That was when the hype train came through and it crashed. Then it peaked again, then it peaked again, and then it closed through in July. And this is actually when I invested in some Asian stocks. I didn't buy them down here, but I did look at some here because I thought this is just such a good position to consider, because when the hype train's on, it gets wild. Now, the pullback after hitting the psychological 20,000 here is pretty extreme. So we've got 20,000 down to 16.8. It's pretty normal this happens. All I would do is I would take the fib of the move, and you guys know what I'm going to say. 38.2, 50, look in your little zone. It's an index, so you can be more sure that if you pick it up in these zones, you're going to get a good opportunity. And then that has been where it's bounced off. Now you dial in on the smaller time frames, the daily, you dial in on the 4 hour, and you look for lightning bolts, and guess what? You've already got one. Trough, peak, lower trough, higher peak, close above, and bullish action. Where are your problems? You've got 18,000 as definitely the next resistance, and it's going to be a problem for the CN50. So things are looking actually pretty bullish here, and when the bulls get back in town, it goes quite strong. Trend line as well here is broken against. So it's a TA special. Not too bad there, Matthew. Thank you for the donation. And alerting, I think, also the community to there's more than just even gold, crypto that we talk about. There's other options out there. David Taylor, $2. Ty Tom. Oh, thanks a lot, Tom. I think it is. I thought it was Tyrone. Tyrone's my business partner. Thanks a lot, Tom. Watch every day. Thoughts on Z, San, and K-Tra? Z-San. Okay. Kanoku says, rip Steve. Yeah. He was awesome. I used to love watching him. I haven't watched an Apple thing in a long time. But those last ones, I think in today's age, they would be events that would have like millions of people just watching him. Because Steve Jobs he was a pretty good innovator. It was kind of like Elon Musk is now. Like Elon Musk, when he does things, heaps of people watch up. Let's take a look at SCAN. Z. Is this it? Zono Pharma. Stupid Avio goes $20. That was nuts. So farmers can get crazy. Medical specialities, $1.16, down 1.69%. What do I think of this? Well, it certainly pumped and then it dumped, didn't it? Couldn't hold above the 2. That's bearish. It's had a lot of pump dumps. Most dumps afterwards have lost all their value. Another pump dump. I'm not bullish on this, unfortunately. For ZSAN, the only analysis I would give is that it tends to decline all the way back down to the level, which it already has, from the pump to the dump. Now it could just sit there for a long time. Problem with this is it could sit there for so long and hold your capital in that position. Do you really want to be held in that position? Ideally not, I would say. So yeah, watch the area. There's just not that much analysis I can do on this one. I'll check your other one instead. KTRA. Kintra Therapeutics. Okay, this one's much better. So previous resistance is becoming support. It did spike through, but we have to ignore that because there was a lot of problems in the stock market, as in the stock market was flash crashing. It came down to $1.50 psychological, instantly bounced. Now it's got problems at this $2 range. I expect that to be resistance. $1.87 in the pre. So $2 is going to be a concern level for you that you should check out. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys why I liked Avio. I need to do that on the stream. I found this website. I can't remember what it is. I'll find it again. It's free, and it tells you how many of the insiders are holding positions and when they last sold. And that's pretty good information in a pharmaceutical company. So this particular pharmaceutical company was looking for FDA approval, and not one of these dudes was selling. No person in there. It was 100% hold fest. In fact, they were adding. So when you see those types of things, it can be that little bit of special sauce, especially with one of my favorite penny stock plays, which is random FDA approvals. You buy, you wait for the thing to get approved, and then you get the hell out and run away. That's why I was surprised it was up again. But yeah, that's what I was doing. I was looking at that, and it's actually one of my favorite things. So $1.87, I still think it's in the downtrend for now. If it goes to $2, that will be a critical resistance support play here. If it closes through, then you can start to see the movement up. So good luck on that one, David. Look to the downtrend, look to the $2. If it moves up, 240, 220 will be your next targets. See the 220 and the 240. Some other donations coming in here. iPhone 2 was my first iPhone. So the 3 one, John? Yeah, I liked the first one. It was really cool. The first one was awesome. BTC is crashing. When you say crashing, 56,000. You guys crack me up. You guys crack me up. It's funny. Andy Lindsay, $4.99. Can you please check out XELA? I'm in it at $6.09. Okay, let's have a look. XELA. Oh. Zillow. 6. Oh. What made you get into it up here? What is this? Information technology company, market cap $200 million. Well, firstly, thank you for the donation. I may not have that much great news for you. Let's have a look here. Pre-market is down. What's the left-hand side tell us about these positions? Let's go to daily. Whoop. Oh, I do need to zoom it out. Okay, so most times it's run out rampantly. It has declined quite a lot. Yeah, I don't know why it's gone up there, but the problem is, well, 384 is not that far away now. I don't see any support for this until 320, and I feel like it will try to move down there. So this is probably the zone you want to look for, 320-ish, maybe the 340-ish zone. Box up some structure through here. Don't catch a falling knife if you're looking at buying more of it or something like that. Look for consolidation, look for lightning bolts, look for change of trends. That kind of thing will help you. This is an unfortunate position. I just don't feel like there's much bullishness coming through here. It's just continuously declining. It's now underneath the 4 in the pre-market. Yeah, I think it could go down here. I appreciate the donation, Andy, but yeah, think about also what made you get in at 609. It's probably FOMO, which we've all experienced. Hey man, I've done that as well. I make mistakes still. So 609, if it was just a FOMO kind of play, maybe think about how much risk you're putting in this and ways to mitigate that in the future. Good luck. Tom Siracasano, $5. Genus, rumor of a deal with Roblox. Is that already happening? Rumors with the company that IPO'd yesterday. Unusual call buying activity. Your thoughts, my brother. Well, thank you very much, Tom. Got a great name there. Genus. This has the supposed rumor on it. So we've done this one before. Looks like. Obviously that's off. I don't know why that should be here. And then through those lows. So it has been holding up relatively okay. Had that weird close through here, then bulled through. 231 is strong for it. It's gotten through once before. Let's have a look at the weekly. So weekly's never closed up here since it declined. Look, everything's looking better here. You've got, let's have a look at the daily volume again. Yes. I see what you're talking about. 13.16%, 7.21%, and room to move to the 3. And then after the 3, serious, crazy room. This thing goes hyper when it goes hyper. Where'd it go to? 10. So probably 10. Huh. Tom, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's obviously gambler. Don't get me wrong. This is a gambler looking thing. But it's got a lot of price action and volume plays behind it. And I want to draw your attention to this particular one. See this one here. There's bullish action with crazed volume on it. Is that some kind of insider trading event that occurred there? Or was that a news event? Check that day out. Have a look at what happened for this stock on that day to try to find out exactly what the sentiment was. Was the rumor already swirling? Who knows? Yesterday, the volume is good again. Today, the pre-market 2.3, and then 3 seems to be the next target. And after that, it's a ballistic looking thing. So Tom, good luck on this one. Interesting. I will put it over here. AMC GME community will go here before we do any more. $10.43 on AMC. So we've got our lines from yesterday. My thought process always was that once we cleared the 1050, we would go to 12. I thought 12 would be heavy resistance. It went a little bit higher, so I may not have got perfect there, but 12 seemed to be around the closure points. I haven't changed these, by the way. Resistance was met. It then had that massive sell-off, which was pretty much a GME sell-off. Algo trading, nasty Wall Street, whatever you want to say, got into it. Now $10.50, still an important zone for me. 2 moving averages on the 15-minute, which is all we can really go off. If you have hold pressure here, just look for 30 minutes of green, and then hopefully the rest of the day can push up. 12 remains the resistance for AMC. GME stuck in the middle of nowhere right now, down 5.323%, was down a lot more before. 275 resistance. This 240 seems to be support, seems to be trapped in here. Underneath 240 towards the 200, over 275, back towards the 350, probably 345-ish zone. And through the 350, why not just 420.69? No real technicals, but everyone seems to like that price. So that's that thoughts there. Let's now go to the next donation. This is from Rahib. Rahib, I think it is. Is that how you pronounce your name? Kevin. We'll also call you Kevin. $1.99. What do you think of NVIDIA? How will it run today? So NVIDIA is a very interesting situation. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. It is pre-market super strong. Now, this is why it's hard to short stocks, because NVIDIA got underneath the 500 barrier. It then couldn't hold yesterday above the 500. Pre-market now 515. This is why so much is on the line here for the Nasdaq. We're sitting on 13,000 pre-market now, exactly 3927 on the US 500. If the market does actually continue to come down, so let's say $500 is again the point, and the market sells off through the day. So pre-market holds, it just looks like this. Let's go over to my analysis here. So if the Nasdaq starts hot, traps the Wall Street, traps the retail traders, and then we move down to the end of the day being a negative, well, that's not going to be very good. And that's actually going to show that the bears possibly are straight back in town. They've been trapping a lot of people. But from NVIDIA, our close above 500 is super bullish. And then we should see continued movement back up to the 560, which will be the next kind of zone. And then, of course, hopefully to the 583 and beyond. I'm bullish on NVIDIA. It's a great stock. It's got many key awesome things that they're doing. And I think once they also get past all this semiconductor crap, you should be able to do quite well off NVIDIA. So continue to watch today's close and follow it through. I'll have a quick look at AMD before I continue with the donations. AMD 79.35. Look, all that matters for AMD is it holds above 75. This zone was super important because there's no support back down to 60. AMD is well known as well. People that have just been trading AMD probably don't understand that AMD is known to rip and then fail. It ripped and failed for years. This is the first time I've seen competent management at AMD where I think they've got a sustained product, and Intel is so badly behind right now. If AMD can continue it, that'll be glorious. That's more of a fundamental thing, my perspective on it. I have an AMD in this computer right now. But yeah, let's check this out. Go through the resistances. 87 is the resistance, and you've got a problem at 82-ish, I believe, on that one. Continue to watch the space, but yeah, they're the zones. It looks fine in pre-markets in the middle of nowhere. Everything is good on AMD. Welcome as well to the 2073 viewers out there. If you're enjoying the stream, remember to click like button, help us out, and subscribe. We create content on pretty much a daily basis, and then we create weekend videos as well, covering all the markets from cryptocurrency to Tesla to the stock market to gold and silver. We do it all here. Rodney Rollins. Oh, wait, no, Andrew Wong. We have just caught up to Andrew. 25 HK Hong Kong dollars. Thank you very much, Andrew. Very generous donation. JD, they beat earnings. I expected that by 30% plus, but PE ratio is 18. That's pretty cheap, isn't it? Is PE ratio 18 bad? 6.63% pre-market. Hey, I'll tell you this, and I was talking to someone in the private Discord community about this other day. I am bullish on JD, and I'm bullish on JD for this reason. I think the Chinese government is really affecting Barber's price. In fact, I think it's going to affect the total company, and that's a problem. So JD is looking good. From the TA perspective, it came back to the 20 moving average, so that makes a ton of sense. I do like the stock. I think now it probably tries to rip into 100. It's pretty aggressive price action, but you've also got to go back over, and you've got to also think about the CEO. Like back here in 18, I believe that's when there were some problems with, they may have learned some lessons, let's say, about what not to do. And now that it's on a run, it's looking pretty good, and I think it continues to grow just due to that factor, and they've just been improving their business. So 20 moving average was reached. Movement up to 100 makes some sense to me. And then we have to watch whether it can continue in the trend. Look, it's not going to be something that I think goes to $200 in like a month or something. It's not going to happen like that. But gradual increases as the business rips business away from Barber, I think is going to happen, Andrew. Appreciate the donation. What do you guys think? What do you think about JD and Barber? Do you think JD is going to do well in the future? Which is going to be the better returner? Let me know in the community questions right now for Andrew's sake. Let's check it out. Rodney Rollins, $5. WMT, short and long-term thoughts. New viewer, love what I'm seeing so far. Thank you very much, Rodney. Appreciate that. Let's have a look at WMT. Welcome to the new viewers. We've got a great community here. I think I was checking out the numbers the other day. Probably about 1,500 of the viewers are actually, you guys, are actually long-term viewers of the channel. So that's awesome. We've got a great community here, and we're adding to it all the time. Pre-market 132.65 WMT. All right. Firstly, we want to do some top down here because I don't know this one that well. Monthly 20. That's why it pays to do the old top down. Very nice. Wow, wow, wow. So that's a 1, 2, 3 buys off that zone and a nice new fourth buy off the zone. Very strong there on WMT. That's what you want to see. That's why it pays to go to the big time frames. So then we go to the weekly and we go, why is it bouncing off here? And it makes sense now, yeah? Some structure through the area. Bottom end, you've got a lot of back structure as well. So you've got to think, if I get into a price here, what's my kind of worst case scenario? Well, your worst case scenario is always $2. But the other scenario that can happen is it just goes back down to 120. And then find structure. Is that bad? Are you going to cry about that? If you're not, then it's an interesting zone. So engulfing weekly could be on the cards. This hasn't closed yet. But if an engulfing weekly comes through, when was the last pullback? Engulfing weekly here, and that started the bullishness. There's the lightning bolt. Nice. Let's go to the daily. So strong day yesterday, up 2.55%. Look, I like what I'm seeing because of that monthly, probably more than anything else. I probably would like to have like a bit of a pullback here because it had the resistance. Then another rip gets through there. Then we've got our kind of low, our peak, our higher trough area, and then our rip. I like this kind of zone. 140 will be your target for the first resistance, and then after that you might go on to the next levels, but the monthly is the zone that I'd be looking at there. Rodney, thank you for your donation. Jerry Wallach, $4.99. Hey, can you have a look at SFIX? Thank you. Sure. SFIX 49.65 pre-market, up 2.43%. US stock markets, tech is ripping 12,981. Just to recap, Bitcoin 56,200, gold 1736, 1740 resistance after 1740, 1760 resistance on gold, silver right around a problem area at this stage, and dollar index is at support. So there's a quick update for anyone just joining us now on the markets. 49.65, 48.43. Okay. Previous highs at around the 50. It's sitting around the 50. So hopefully it is going to box through this zone. I would want to see more here. It's got some structure forming. Maybe some structure like this, and then we close above. Because you gap down, and that was clearly an earnings play, something happened there. After earnings, if a stock doesn't instantly bounce, it usually capitulates and kind of does this. And when it's in a range like this, guys, I don't know if I want to put my money into it. I set alerts at the high and I set alerts at the low, and I kind of don't look at it again until I get one of those alerts. And then I come back over and I go, now I'm interested. 55 will be a problem if it does bounce instantly. It's going to sell off that zone, I would think, based on the negative sentiment. Now 65 will also be an issue, previous supports. Yeah, I'd wait to see more here. I want structure formation. 49.65, yeah, it's 2.5%, but it's not that much. Good luck on that one, Jerry. Continue to see structure formation. Avio says Treatum Finance. I know. Avio can make us money. Avio already made... I was on Avio the other day. That was a hold from the companies. Like, as in the people in it, the business did not sell a share for a long time too. Andy Lindsay, $4.99. What are your thoughts on RKT? I'm in at 26.04. Thank you. Oh, RKT. 26.04 is not a terrible price, is it? So that's good. I didn't think this was very good. So my thought process initially when it broke out was going towards 30 and then 40. And it just went crazy and went all the way straight to 40 pretty much. Stopped at 30 barely. Now that it's consolidating, you want to look at the volume. So we go to the daily volume and you will notice there is some increase here. So because it's had a run on it before, there's still interest in a second run on it. Go into the 4 hour, lots and lots of ranging, go into the 1 hour, and we start to try to find, do we have structure here? If we have structure, then we can start to figure out where our resistance breaks are and when the hype train can come back in. Now, we haven't had a close actually over this level. Ignore this because it gapped and sold, wicked and sold, wicked and sold, wicked and sold. So you might want to have like a 4 hour or something closing above this zone. If it can do so around the 28, yes, a movement into 30 seems quite imminent. And if it gets through 30, it will be explosive just because of what happened last time. Everyone will start piling in and get excited about it. At 26.04, you're in the middle of two areas. 24 is like your low, you're buying. Hopefully there's some demand there. And then 28 is where you expect selling to come back in. So you're in a channel range. You trade it like a channel range. If it breaks through, You still got to be careful of 30, but 32 would be the target because it's about a $4 channel. And then hopefully back up into the 40s. I'm not sure if Rocket will get the hype on it again because there's a lot of money focused on GME, AMC, and others. But if it does, yeah, you know where to go. Good luck, Andy. C. Harrison, Tom, what do you think of the published articles before the crash on CNBC, etc., on GME yesterday? With that particular position, what are you talking about? Are you saying like we had a GME position, like they actually put out that it was going to crash or it did crash? I'd have to see more, C. Harrison. Let me see if I can find it for you. Oh, thanks, Dave. I'll check that out later. CNBC predicts Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I have to get some more information on it. Thank you though for the question. Scroll back through. I believe we have some other donations coming in, so let me just quickly catch up here. We've got a donation $2 coming in from Shire, US $2. OXT US dollar, please. Looks bullish. We'll check that out in 1 second. Stephen A, US $5. Best TA around. Appreciate it, man. Keep up the great work. Greatly appreciate your efforts. We do appreciate it. William knows what time it is. He says 1,000 likes. Let's do it. All right. Isn't PE ratio under 50 considered pretty good? Abe says. PE under 50 is good. Oh man, it's a new world. It's a new world. The PE under depends on the industry. So if you have like a tech industry, yeah, I guess PE under 50 is probably good. If you have healthcare, about 30, 35. PE for a bank, if that was 50, you'd be terrified because that would be not so good. Update on cryptos. BTC bulling again, 56,546, 587 now. 1,800 for ETH. And DOT seems to be slightly moving up as well. And XRP is just the worst coin. Coin annoys me. The SEC suck for doing that. They're really, really ruining the fun on XRP, but that's okay. Let's thank you again, Stephen A, for the donation. And let's have a look at Shire's one, which is OXT. And then we'll need to get hyped because it's 12 o'clock. It's not that far off the market open now. OXT, we'll use just the tether. Ready for breakout was the question. 32% up today. 11th of March. Wow. They're sold off heavy. Daily. Daily puts more perspective on it. Yes. Okay. So, I want a daily close above this one here. My line's wrong. Let me put my line down. I want a daily close. Like if a daily close like here, 0.75, I would think this is breaking out relatively hard. The only problem I have with this coin is look at the history. Crazy wick. Crazy wick. It's known clearly for some pumping and a little bit of dumping. So if that's the way it trades, we need to be careful about it. And I would think that if we don't have we need a closure above this level to show that it's a sustained breakout. It's already moved heavy. I mean, 31%. Yeah, you might miss out. There's plenty of other coins. It hit the 0.8, which is the first resistance that I would expect it to hit. And then if it gets through there, where do we go towards? The 1, the magical 1. So OXT, probably wait for more information there on the daily, just based on what we've seen in the past. Let's go to the 4 hour. What moving average usually holds it in the move? 2 hour, 1 hour. Yeah, there's not much else we can do. I'm waiting for a close there. Shire, good luck. Brandon Otterson, Canadian $2. What's your real thoughts on AMC currently? My real thoughts... Well, my real thoughts are it hit my target. Yeah, that hit my target, man. Like that's my absolute real thoughts. I do find it difficult to believe that we're going to be able to get into the 16 and 20. However, you guys have proved me wrong on a few occasions here. I thought that it would be tough for GME to go back to the 350. We got the areas right, but I thought it would be tough for it to get back through with the same kind of sentiment. So that's awesome that it was done. AMC, my problem with it is just going to be, can we sustain this problem from yesterday? So if it was just continuously making those daily candles up and it wasn't showing this insanity, I think that you were most likely going to keep pushing new levels, pushing the 16, pushing the 20. But my big problem, I probably get a bit of flack from this, is when that comes in, my history with trading teaches me that we are in an extremely volatile time. And while we may make new highs now, it's going to be up, down, and all around, similar to what happened back the first area, even with the changes to the squeezing rules. So here is what happened, and it was pretty wild. I could see it getting wild again now because uncertainty is going to come in, and everything about these trades is about having diamond hands, and that means that people must have confidence in the position. If you derail confidence for another day on AMC or GME, it's so fast to ruin confidence that you will start to see wild moves or possibly even crashing events. You need to continue to have confidence. So today's daily for AMC and GME, my real thoughts are they must be green, and I want to see daily closes above where the market opens. That's my thought there, Brandon. Good luck. And good luck to everyone out there. Okay, I think we've almost caught up and we're ready to get kind of hyped today. Sold GME at 327. Phew, what a ride, says Paul. Good work, Paul. Nasdaq broke through 13,000 and is holding 12,900s. So a break and a close is a different thing. So break just means it gets through. Close means it's confirmed, locked in that area. Hobson troll lines, US $5. Thank you very much. GDX plus, how do you pick the low side of the lower point to click when doing the fib? Also, how do I get sale on your course? If you come into the Discord community, we are running a 10-year sale. You guys wouldn't believe this, but we've been around for 10 years as a business. So you can come in, just message at Tom if you're interested in the sale. Click the link up above. You'll see me. I'm in the owner. Message me and I'll give you a discount. We do have a discount, 10-year anniversary special. It's not live on the emails yet, but you can feel free to message me if you're interested. GDX, let's take a look. Appreciate the support as well. GDX. This is Vanek Vectors ETF Trust Gold Miners. Oh, okay. Well, I think you are looking better than you were. So nice little bit of structure formation down here from the gold miners. This was when gold hit the lows. Notice that gold, if you actually look at gold first, let me just quickly load gold up. Oh, I said I'd leave that one on the chart. Look at it go. Gold, 1734. So if you go to a daily here, see, gold miners don't necessarily trade exactly the same as the real metal. These days were down and then went up. So this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's have a look at GDX. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at the base. So more people were quite bullish holding this level above. And you can see why. Resistances becoming support. Very nice little zone here. Good area. Now that we've broken above, I expect probably gold to form base here if it can. I mean, it's as good as it's going to get. From a TA perspective, if you were thinking, is this the formation that you wanted? Yes. Is the volume good out of it? Not really. But 33 is good. 34 is resistance, which will probably correlate a little bit with gold at 1760. And then a movement up above that, 36. So things are looking better. The formation is good. Your question about fibs, how do I draw them? Yeah, things look okay there. Let me have a look at gold itself. Yeah, okay. I don't mind it. A dollar index is going to be a bit of a thing for you as well. Let's now do your fib question. So your fib question was, and a lot of people get this wrong, how do you draw fibs? So if you want to draw a fib retracement, what you do is you get your fib line, you draw it from the bottom to the top, okay? That will then draw the fib retracement. Do it wick to wick, not body to body. Don't care about the body to body, people. The only time you will ever not do wick to wick is if there is an anomaly wick due to some tsunami, like there was in the yen a few years ago, or some crazy bank event or something else that's weird. Always go wick to wick, bottom to top or top to bottom for the other way, and that will draw it out. Now, if you're looking for extensions, so say you want to do a fib extension, what you're going to do is draw from the low down, and you'll get all of those fibs, but then you'll get your extensions as well. And extensions can be very helpful if you're in uncharted territory on a high quality blue chip stock. Fib extensions will not work on weird penny stocks. They will generally only work on high quality, huge blue chip stocks. So definitely check that out. Fib extensions, we don't cover them much on the channel, but they are good to have in your trading arsenal. GDX, good luck. Got a new member of the community. Welcome to the Diamond Hands. Something of value. Appreciate you joining. Salute to you and good luck today in the trading and on the community. Stephen A, US $2. Tom, what are your thoughts on Bingo? BNGO. We'll check that out in just a few moments. Let's get hyped, guys. We're back to 1,000. Quick recheck on the markets. And let's have a look firstly at the broad. What's going on here? Pre-market. Increased. Avio. Must have got FDA approval. Well, it did. That basically spiked heavily yesterday. It had a beautiful run on it. Now trading at 18.25. Be careful. This thing pumps and dumps. $20 is the zone that it should find resistance at. Be very, very careful on Avio if that's something you're interested in or you're finding out about. Tilray up 5, coming down from where it was. Palantir 4.44, GameStop 4.53, not as bad as it was. It was down about 7% before to 9%, so it's increasing and improving here in the pre-market. Sundial, you guys know what I think about that one. No. We don't like the Sundial, and as I said, Palantir 4.36. Screener for the big stocks. We almost have to go to 23 billion since the recovery, so 499 results in the 22 billion range. 7.23% for these. Zillow doing 5. Tesla doing 4. On the decline side, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. If the tech continues to go well, I could see banks getting pulled lower. That's what happened last time, so it may be sustained that Goldman and JP Morgan may lose like 1.5% today. It's very, very possible. We'll switch over screens. Let's do it, guys. Are you ready for Thursday Open? Are you ready for some big short squeeze action, some big tech action? I certainly am. Let's do it. Here we are. We've got a 20-second countdown. It's a water break. What about the Tom versus US dollar tether? Oh no, it's Atom. Good luck, guys. Woo! All right, now we're ready. We're certainly ready for the day. If you enjoy that intro, go to subscribe. Yeah, let's get us to 50,000 subs so we can have a celebration on the stream. What software are you using? Tom Brady says we're using TradingView. If you want interested in supporting the channel, you can link the description below and click on the TradingView. Follow us there as well, and then it's free, or you can pay if you want the extra services. Check out Atom. Yeah, we'll have a look at that probably. AMC, $12 tomorrow close. Well, $12 certainly will be the target. If it can get through 12 though, 16 will be the next area. Stephen A wanted BNGO, probably making a few people in the community happy. We get asked about this one a little bit. Let's take a look. 3.34% on the open here. 898, down 3.88 yesterday. So what is going on here? It did act technically last time. This did have a symmetrical that actually blew to the exact right zone. So the way you know the exact zone, usually take around this area here. Extrapolate that out from the break, and you'll notice it worked quite well. So it does act technically. It bounced off the 594 area, which was a little bit of resistance previously. Go to the 4 hour. What have we got going on? $10 is probably the target here. So I could see this zone be the target for a problem of resistance and support. If you clean this area and you close above on a significant time frame, 4 hour plus, then you're moving into the 12 range, the 14 range. Every $2 is a problem for BNGO. So it's not an easy TA here because it's quite sporadic in the way that it moves due to the kind of movement across the board on it and who's trading it. Trend line on the downtrend has been broken, so everything's looking bullish, but $10 is a major area I would expect resistance at from not only the psychological level, but this very strange amount of chop that occurred here, which means that it was well thought out, the breakdown, and the resistance will be a problem through that. Good luck, Stephen. Thank you for the donation. Sheriff Malik, US $2. Do you use log in your charts? Yes or no? So yeah, I do use log. Some of these are regulated right now. I don't really mind which one I use. Some people say, oh, you just use log. It doesn't really matter to me. The only thing with log is that it kind of smooths it out a little bit more for me. So see where this came from. If we go regular here, look at that. See what can happen there. It becomes kind of a problem. So I usually use log a little bit. I would probably say log is the one I would use, Sheriff. Ideally, but it doesn't matter too much to me. I just look at the charts, pull up the information. Over 1K thumbs up, says Kevin. Yes. Paul Tiger, he must be hyped now. Going to school then. Oh, is this someone that's dancing? I think they've got a few people have their kids watching them in the morning on the stream. That's why I don't swear too much, yeah? BNGO thoughts. Well, luckily you got the donation there. Ken says, love, Tom. Thank you very much, Ken. Appreciate it. Anyone else see the mile-long candle wick on QQQ just 15 minutes ago? What does that indicate? This shouldn't be trading yet, like other than the pre-market. When you say mile-long candle wick, it's probably a misprice that occurred. I don't think you should be seeing anything like weird on this particular one. Bitcoin 56,770. Look at it go, guys. Yeehaw. Look at it go. Nice. Going back for the 57,200. QQQ 317 now. Yep, looks good. How do we follow you on TradingView? If you click the link in the description below of this video, you'll be able to click on that, and I'm pretty sure it takes you there. Otherwise, you can search FX Evolution. Somebody in the room will share it as well. No worries, QG77. I'll send it to you after. Thank you very much for sending me some your interest in the course. No, you must swear. Nah, it's all right. GME tendies today. I hope so. I love it when you guys make money. Why not? The short sellers are all just evil Wall Street mostly anyway, and a couple of retail traders that are trying to be sneaky. So if you make money, it's all good with me. I say yes. DXY at support 91.58, gold 17.33, hit first resistance today. Silver 26.31. Actually, how's silver looking? Bitcoin is just so good. What's DOT doing? DOT finding some buying pressure. That's a symmetrical. I'm very interested to watch DOT with you over the next 24 hours. I'm going to continue watching that one. Litecoin also looks pretty good. As you see here, DXY moving back down to where I expect buying pressure in the DXY. VIX volatility index is completely falling off a cliff after those initial spikes. When it gets back down in the 21-20 zone, you need to be careful on it. Also PCC, which is put call ratio. Where is that? Oh, put call ratio is declining. Faster than I expected. So if put call ratio, let me look at the daily here. Yes. So if this gets down too much, and I mean down here, like 0.6 is like the demon, the devil, 0.666, that kind of area, this always has me worried about a potential movement back down. Remember, if there's a lot of calls open in the market, what a nasty Wall Street want to do? They want to make every one of those calls expire worthless if possible. So if that's what's happening in the retail community, everyone's buying calls, everyone's getting into them and not buying puts anymore, it's unlikely that the market will be able to maintain strength. So keep watching this number. It's not at a worrying point yet, but we will keep watching it. Some donations coming in here. Did I mention GE? No, but I said I would do GE. Let's do General Electric quickly. And then we'll do the donations. I believe I said GM or GE. People like this. I'm not sure why. It's pulled back into the 20 exponential. That's okay. It's not too bad. Previous resistance. Down 3% today, 1285. So it's back on the support. Yeah, I mean, it just should be an area where it buys off, shouldn't it? I like, you know, the major, here's the problem. So you either buy here, or then you've got to wait for it. And then the worst case scenario is it gets back down into here. Of course, worst case scenario is always 0, as you know. But here should be structure formation at the 12. So if you get it wrong at this zone, and you say, okay, I'm interested in this. I've seen it go to 1443. I don't mind buying it here. Then it's hitting a level of a 20 moving average and the previous kind of highs back in February. If it continues its decline, it goes back to 12 and it meets triple resistance. So that's going to be an interesting point for it as well. I think it's not my type of stock, but that's the way I would think about it. Let's go to the donations now. What have we got coming in? Matt Mazer, US $5. Good morning again, brother. SXP/swipe is going full parabolic right now on crypto. You're welcome. Oh, thanks very much, man, for the donation. Let's have a look at swipe. Use this data here. So we've done some analysis here on this one before. Clearly, this was a break and a resistance that we were thinking was going to be the target. It's down up 20%. I think we did this yesterday. Can I remember? I don't remember. Oh, that's so nice. I love it when they hold the moving averages. So again, cryptocurrency, the 4-hour is so good, the 20. So 1, 2, now we're putting resistance pressure on. We close above this zone. What happens next? Maybe we close, hit 4, wait for the 20 moving average to come and hit it, and then we can move up. Let's check out where the previous points were weekly. So there's easily, oh, there's 5. 5 is in it. 5 is in it. And then once it went to 848. That was on the first day. So it listed here and then just sold off initially. Yeah, I think 5 is really in the cards here. A series of higher lows coming in. 4-hour 20 would be the way you'd follow it. It's putting pressure on this. I'd like to see a close above. This is like a target zone. At least it partially coiled underneath, which is very, very good. Bitcoin's going nuts, 56,756. So it's moving up strongly. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Continue to watch the space, I guess. But if it closes above 5, seems like a target there, Matt. Thank you again for the donation today. Verified News. US $5. Please take a look at Ford. I took out calls yesterday. Ford Industries. Is this the one? Or do you want Ford Motors? Probably Ford Motors. Doubt it's Ford Industries. If it's Ford Industries, let me know by tagging Dave as the admin. He'll let me know in Discord. So here is the market for this one. Ford is doing very, very nicely. It's interesting to see all of these manufacturing companies, as in the motor vehicle companies, come back so strongly. So you look at the daily here. Check this out. It's gone $4.17. $4.17. And now it's trading at 13. It's trading above the 19 highs. And it was declining hardcore into this. It's just amazing to see the transformation here. So yes, the trend is up. It's been finding daily 20 moving averages. So that's going to be your major concern. You've got calls here. Probably it's somewhere around this strike. You're thinking it's probably breaking out, I guess. Let's go down to the 1 hour. I mean, you're just following the trend. The trend looks okay. Because it's at 13, it closed above 13. How does it deal with 50-cent increments? I don't know this one. I don't trade it myself. 12, 12.50, 13. So 12 was big. How was 11? 11 didn't matter. 10 did matter.
I'll take your entire stock.
Weekly. 14, 13. That was a massive decline over the years. Very tough to know exactly where this one wants to stop. So let's say it closed above 13 today. That's going to be a bullish sign. You've got that moving average I gave you before that you need to follow it by. And if it hits like 14, I think it's going to have big problems. That would be obviously a great problem for you to have. But yeah, 14 previous resistances, that would be my target there. Good luck, verified news. Hopefully it's that one that you're looking at. Quite a few donations coming in here. Susanna W, US $10. Thank you very much, Susanna. Appreciate the support of the stream. Thank you for that. Okay, we've got Craig Bainton, $2. Thoughts on long-term on GRT at the end of a triangle? It's going to be the crypto. Daily. Okay, I see you. Oh yeah, that's maybe petering out triangle. Is it really a triangle? Definitely, wicks. Yeah, I think I would have preferred to see the price action go through. I see what you're saying. So basically it's closing above here and consolidating. $2, it's just sitting at this 205. There's nothing much going on here, man. Nothing much going on here. 240 will be the target if it keeps bulling. Maybe this has a flow-on effect if Bitcoin continues to strengthen. It's kind of like ADA. It's sitting around a zone that's not that interesting, but it's not that bad. So 205, if you break through here, you go towards 240, maybe set an alert there, wait for it for the 240, maybe even the 260, 280 if you're really, really bullish on it. Series of higher lows is the key. So just keep making sure it makes higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. That would be awesome and excellent. Thank you, Craig. Tom Siracasano, $5. Crisp heading in the wrong direction, looking to bail. Thoughts? CRISPR Therapeutics heading in the wrong direction, looking to bail. So today it's actually up 4.31%. So I was looking at CRISP and I was thinking, this is a big ARK fund investment. I was thinking that's not too bad at 100 actually. That's what I was thinking the other day. So I was around this price, let's just say that. But there's a few things on the TA. I've done this one myself personally. So you've gone through here, okay? This is a declining series of lower peaks. That has now been broken out above. What are my concern levels? Because I've done this one, I know exactly where they are. 140 resistance, definitely a concern level. Here's where things get really interesting on CRISP. What if this happens? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder all of a sudden. Let's just say that happens, okay? CRISP's level yesterday was disappointing that it couldn't hold above, but that's okay. If it did, that would be big, but 140 is a terrifying zone. 50 exponential, 200 simple. I do expect selling pressure there. Then I expect selling pressure at the 160. But I could see some formation occurring here maybe, or even some crazy V-shape. Remember, Moderna was really low, and then Moderna went nuts. So from a TA perspective, I believe the worst is behind based on this. We did get a bullish close here. I'm looking for a bullish close on this stock today and then into the 140. Resistance will be found. I'm not too scared about that. A closure above all of these dynamics resistances will become support, and it's an awesome area for us to look at. So I'm excited for CRISP. We'll see what happens next. MD4 VID, Canadian $2. Can you check out STPK? Nice double gap. The double gap at 40. Okay, let's have a look here. STPK. What is a double gap? So I assume you're saying, probably a daily, that it bulled again, and it bulled again. So there are multiple gaps there. Well, it's right at resistance, but then it's gapped in the pre-market to get through it at 713, 33.36. So that puts us up here. Huh. Okay. Can it hold? Hold daily above this would be very strong. 37 is the first resistance target after this one, which was at about that 31. If it holds today, that's strong. I'd be careful in the pre-market on it. But if you already got it, just look for the daily close. If the daily close is above towards 37, 37 probably does have some selling pressure, but I wouldn't be too concerned about it. Might even come back down, test these moving averages. Remember, that's a 20-50, so both of those are going to act as dynamic support or dynamic resistance unless it gaps through them. Gets through there towards the 45. So good luck on STPK. I do like the fact that it's gapping above, but it must hold it. Hold the close. Taylor Gill, $2. Holding ZOM, $45. Wow, long calls here, man. January 2022 calls. Thoughts up 1,000% at the moment. That's cool. Taylor, you got some long calls there. Like, they're very, very deep. As in, they're far away. Okay, so you got $45 calls. And you're up 1,000%. So either you bought these like down here and you just went, okay, I'm going to go for a YOLO couple of years around. That's awesome though. I like that. Yeah, 4 hour is now the 20 moving average. So just follow it by this. Now it's starting to get crazy. So what I mean by that is ZOM is moving in a very nice direction. It's very aggressive. Notice it started moving away from the daily moving average and now it's on the 4 hour moving average. So that's quite bullish here for it. Let's go to the weekly to find out our key resistances. Here is my big problem, and it is approaching fast. And Johnny and other people in the crowd, I know a few of you have ZOM because we were all big on ZOM down here back in November. What an amazing buy that was, turns out. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Wow, that's a problem. Support. You don't even need oil to go up anymore. You just need vaccines to be working. And as vaccines are working, they still have relatively good cash flow. So it's going to hit here 200 simple moving average weekly and a multi-level, multi-year support that is going to clearly act as resistance. So my thoughts here on ZOM is this is a massive technical at 67. Be careful there and good luck. I love your 1,000% though. That's awesome. Susanna W, again, thanks for the $10. Oh, can I pronounce your name? Vitatis Janeki? I'm probably butchering your name, but thank you very much for the $5. Hi, can you take a look at TXMD, please? Thanks. We certainly will, but let's do a quick pre-round of the markets here. So to update everyone, we have 56,655 on Bitcoin. Look at it go. We'll go down to the 1 hour just to really emphasize that movement that's coming through. I expected down to the 55. It overshot a little bit. Follow Bitcoin with the 4 hour 20. That's the action kind of play it was previously, and we will continue to use what worked before. Again, why not? We have ETH at 1800, US 500, big resistance at the 39.30. So put that in there. It's not about the futures one. It's about the real market, which is the SPX. See where it's closed. So continue to watch that space. 3,900 will be the support now for the market for the day. So it's sitting at 3,923 pre-market. US 100 Nasdaq is trading just under 13,000, and that is a clear level of resistance as well. Dollar index is on support at 91.60. Tesla is looking strong for the day so far. Can it hold green through the session? And overall, everything else is pretty green. We'll look at the Webull screener soon. TXMD. Oh, and just for the AMC GME update, 1050 is support for AMC. So if it can hold here in the first half an hour towards $12 could be an occurrence. It's doing nicely at 6%. And 250 for GME, really just sitting in the middle of a range. Go to the 15-minute chart here. 275, 240-ish for the supports. A close underneath the 240 could expose 200. A close above the 275, a much better level. That will expose some serious squeezing action. So good luck today on that. TXMD. Therapeutics MD Inc. Nasdaq 2.21% up 2.26. It loses a lot of its pumping. So again, it's a story of learn from the left-hand side. It pumps, it dumps, it seems to lose about 80% to 90% of whatever it did pump through. That has happened now, so you should be forming a base. Let's see the base. There's not much technicals you can do here other than that, but I would expect it to be forming a level that should hold. Look at the trend line as well on the way down through these points. It's now reaching a point where I expect more of a horizontal support resistance. If it closes above this zone, what is that? 142, then you should be looking at a movement towards the 160. And I wish you all the best with it, but it may be a slow, gradual increase until the next pump comes through on TXMD. Not sure why it pumped the first time. WEDS 22, DKK 45. I don't think I've received DKK coins before. Fiat, thank you very much for the donation. Hi Tom, great show. How about Scorpio tankers? Ooh, never even looked at this. Scorpio tankers. That's cool. I just like its name. 12.45% yesterday, 1.34. Interesting. Market capitalization size 1 billion, so it's not that small. At least you're looking at a great technical break. Rare sometimes at the moment on the channel. This is good. Great technical break. So clearly it's had some nice days of trade in it and it's sustaining those. It is a channel, there's no doubt. Ways to tell channel 1, 1, 2, 2, or 2 here. You've got 2 touches, $20 is the target. It's a very nice target. Unfortunately, it's a lot of the way there already. So it depends whether you're already in it. If you are, just underneath 20. I mean, that's the technical take profit for this channel. Good luck. It's pretty good. That's a 2-hour chart. We'll go to the weekly just to get an idea of where it's been in the past. Yeah, I think 20 is really a zone here. Look at that wick. Whatever that wick price is, you need to be careful of. Because the market may stop right on that wick price again. Be careful there. Nice channel, nice pattern. It's moving through. Great consolidation. Probably good volume breaks. It's good WEDS. Thank you for the donation. Tesla bullish harami. What time frame there, Rodney? Play the intro. I'll play the intro soon. Don't worry. Who deletes the messages? There could be like an auto robot that does it, or usually it is a user, or it's the mod because it's something bad. Sheriff Malik, US $2. Undervalued stocks for the long-term perspective. Undervalued stocks. Well, I wouldn't say energy has a long-term perspective on it for me. They are undervalued probably still, but not long-term. A few of these stocks that got beaten down, some of the hyper-growth stocks. TDOC has a real chance. Square has a potential real chance. I don't think Square's undervalued, though. I like Cloudflare. You guys know that. anything in the hyper growth space that just got belted, I do think has good long-term perspective. Look at the earnings reports. Like, I was kind of trying to figure out what the data dog was for me. It turned out it wasn't. But there are some that, if I believe in the ability for them to take like software as a service, I think some of the stocks are still very well valued, like better than they were. They were so overpriced. So if you want to talk at value, yeah, maybe. Banks are certainly not for me anymore at these prices. They're way too much. I don't like them at all. And I did like them, but not anymore. Industrials, interesting sector. And I will repeat this, healthcare. Some healthcare is undervalued and should be considered. One's in plasma, one's in kind of like the core kind of healthcare offerings, not pharmaceuticals. I do believe some of those are cheap. So Sheriff, plenty to pick from, heaps of hyper growth. Obviously make your own decisions. Good luck with that. Verified news, US $5. Take out the US 30-year treasuries, TYX. Okay, we will. Thank you very much for the donation there, Verified news. Great to see you here as well. I haven't seen you in the chat, so you may be new for today. That's awesome. 2.26% resistance was met on the 30-year treasuries. This is where the weekly supports were, right around the same zone. So it's kind of the same story as the 10 years, the same story as the 20 and the 30. They're all at a very critical point. I go back through like the monthlies on bonds. You know, my problem with everyone that says stuff on the internet and talks about this, like, well, mostly the media. Don't listen to them. They ruin your trades. I'm telling you, they hurt your psychology. It sucks. Believe in your own ability to do it. I don't know why I'm drawing a trend line, but I hate the media. What do you guys think? Do you like the media? Do you listen to the media? Let me know in the comment section. Do you listen to the media? Yes or no? And how, maybe even tell a story to the community where the media has hurt your trades, because I believe they do a lot with their negative sentiments, or positive, overly positive sentiments as well at certain points, where they're like, the market will never crash, blah, 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 blah. Usually if the media is talking about bubble, it's not going to crash. When they talk about it going to like 4,600 in a year, you know it's over. So I use it more as a gauge like that. Treasury yields, yes, this is right on the point that I expect it to now consolidate, and it sits here and does its thing. These reprice very quickly. It's not unusual for quick reprices. Look at the GFC, look at the reprice, look at the reprice sometime after that, look at the reprice over here and over here. So just remember, bonds reprice quickly when that news comes through. Then they consolidate and drop. So I don't believe in the whole story of, oh, we need to be so concerned about this right now. If we were needing to be concerned about this, they would probably try to do some policies around it. So I think it was just more of an excuse to dump tech and hurt the retail traders. Thank you very much for that. Resistance is met. We continue to watch it on a very large time scale because it's a bond. If you go to the 4 hours, you won't learn much. You'll just basically be looking at it chop round. 4 hour 20 support twice, but it's just in a tough zone for us to trade through. Verified news. Lewis Marriott, $2. Mind checking AGI BTC or AGI USD? I'll do AGI USD because when you do a crypto versus BTC, it can become convoluted. This is a very nice breakout. Instantly, I say that because I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I love what happened like 2 days ago. I don't know what this is, but it's awesome because you have so much resistance that has been closed above. It's retested it. It's bounced through. I don't know about the price right now, but here was a beautiful area of entry. This is like a 1, 2. I don't care what this was, except for soft commodities. I'd be all over that all day because it's so much resistance becoming support. It's very, very cool. What's next target for this type of thing? Well, you'd have to say the 0.3. That's where it reached last time. It makes some sense. It may be slow to get up there. Who knows? But it's well thought out. It's actually a little inverse head and shoulders here. Let's see if we can take the distance of the body here. See if it extrapolates out. Goes even higher. It's nice. Yeah, I mean, the structure's good. If you're in it already, that's good. I would have preferred buying it here. Here is not the best place to buy it. But yeah, here was good. And the target is 0.3. Good luck, Lewis. Thank you for the donation. OG has not been done. No, sorry. Atlas Artist Sweden, welcome to the Stonk Squad. Thank you so much for joining us, supporting the channel, supporting the community. Enjoy the emoticons, and hopefully you enjoy being part of the Stonk Squad. Salute to you. Let's have a look here. Hell no, 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 lol. Nope, 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 nope. This is in regards to the media. The media lies. Media sucks. Absolutely not. Good. You guys are smart. See? Listen to the mainstream media and you will lose money. Media is bobo. Fake news. Yeah, I'm not getting political, but I definitely agree with the concept of there's a lot of fake news. There is a lot of dodgy. And I've noticed news channels, they're getting so lazy now. There's not really any media left. It's like this. They write some kind of like robot spam and then they put Twitters in it. And then some Instagram photos. And that's the media now. Robot spam and this. It's terrible. It is terrible. All right, let's get caught up here. We're almost there. What have we got? Shay, US $3. Can you please look at ZOM? Thanks, mate. Yeah, sure, man. We can look at ZOM. So Media Corp. How many times have we looked at this one? Quite a few, I'd say. So it's bounced off these levels. Now, it was very wicky with the purchasing, which was a good sign because it meant that there was some volume and there was some buying pressure behind that. Now, we have to go to the 2 hour to get an idea of whether this thing can get through. So our main problems are going to be 220, then it's going to be 240, then it's going to be pretty much 280. So there's a nice repricing after the 240 is reached. Thought process yesterday here was that if we reach 220, we would sell off. Now it's sold a little bit earlier than that, so it's moved down before that zone. It's finding some support on the two moving averages, the 20 and the 50. Little kind of bullish pin here, up 4% now in the pre-market, sitting at 206. So if it keeps running through the day, it could very easily go to the 220, find some level, come back, retest somewhere in this zone here, and then move 220 into the 240. I would just be looking for a closure today. And if I'm already in it, I'm concerned about the 220 price. If I want to get out, maybe that's a zone that I can look at. But because it's stopped before 220 and touching it, and it's starting to consolidate through here, if it creates more structure here, it's got a great chance of just busting 220 hard when it goes through. Remember, if something coils before a key resistance or support, it's more likely to bust through it, guys, and get it done. So nice little pre there. Hope it holds for you. And Media Corp, that's the levels. There's not much else we can do on this one because the data is very tough. Do remember as well, once you close 220, you're effectively going from a trough to a peak to a trough double bottom, crazy action that could push like a 3 as well. So it's getting way more exciting when you get through 220 there, Shay. Good luck. Alina Classic, thank you for $10 donation, Australian. Appreciate it. Great to see Aussies up this late. Could you take a look at Airbnb, please? Yeah, we can. Airbnb IPO'd over here. And then it went up to the 200. I thought that was an interestingly expensive price, but it got 220. Now it's back down to 184. So obviously a great company, but the pandemic is bad for it. What happened previously in the price action? Well, we've had very bearish movement followed by a huge bullish buy, then a slightly green candle, a slightly red candle, and a slightly red candle. So there's all these wick kind of paper handsy type of things going on around this 190 zone. We're pre-marketing at the 188, the exact area where the paper hands have been coming in. So there's nothing new about this open today. We scroll down and all we need to say is we need a close, and we need to close above these moving averages on the 4 hour. And once we do that, we can trigger into 200 and trigger back into the 220 zone. So I'm actually looking for a close here above these wicks to show that the diamond hands are back, the bulls are back, You guys have the commitment on the trade, or Wall Street do anyway, but every day it comes up and then sells off is not a good day. So look for a 4-hour close above this area or a daily close above this area to give you some significance into, okay, this is now looking to move towards the 200 range from a technical level. 200 will be a problem, but if you get through there, back to 220, good luck on this one. I do believe in it. I just think that it's going to have some rough roads ahead until this vaccine stuff is dealt with, and that's just more of something else. Jeremy Young says technicals are fascinating. Technicals are just psychology of the market. That's all it is. It's the people that are trading it, psychology. Sweetening says, Tom, are you my dad? I don't think so, Sweetenings. Not to the best of my knowledge. I'd be a pretty bad dad if I didn't know you, Day. Palantir website provides information regarding their products. John says, I guess you answer a question. Thank you very much for that. Oh, what's this question about TDOC? From your perspective, TDOC and NET are good stocks for long-term, Tom, Min says. Yeah, I think they're both very interesting stocks. If TDOC can get it done, yeah. I mean, if TDOC can get it done, that's very, very interesting. It's a huge industry. A huge industry. What do you think about ARC 140 calls? Don't think it's too bad, Great Dame. It's not too bad. You have to believe in the underlying, though. People got very pissed off about the media stuff. Fair enough. We said, welcome to Atlas. Again, welcome to the community there. Are we all caught up? Let's have a look. Nope, not yet. I think we've got one more going through here. SAC Honda highlights US $4.99. Is Center a long-term quality hold? Central Garden and Petco. Well, I can't speak to the long-term quality of this, but I do know one thing about pets. There's actually a lot of people in Western society that aren't having children anymore. They spend tons of money on pets. I have friends that own pet stuff, and it is motzering it. I mean, they make so much money. And because of the pandemic, guess what everyone did? Has anyone tried to buy a pure breed dog? I had a look at one with my partner. It was crazy. They wanted to charge me $8,000 Australian for the dog. $8,000 for a dog. Cost like $1,200 a year ago. Come on now. So because of that, yes, pet stuff is pretty insane. I'm not sure if this is actually a pet stock. Guess it is. Breakout is happening right now on the stock. Go to the 4-hour. Actually took a while, it looks like, for Wall Street to cotton on that this phenomenon was happening. 24 March, started moving, consolidated. Yeah. So a lot of people have bought pets. So it's done the retest. It's acting technically. Things are looking good. It's just really breaking out, and the trend's good on this one. Is it a good long-term hold? It's going to, well, if someone buys a pet, theoretically, they're going to have, I saw Bitcoin's almost 57,000, guys. They're going to have to have that pet for a long time. So yeah, I guess. Do some fundamentals on this though, because where is it? It's at all-time highs. So you've got to make decisions on it based on what's the company actually earning. If you're going to hold something for a long period, if you're trading, you can just use technicals. If you're investing, I would say technicals and fundamentals are very important. If you don't know the fundamentals of the company and you're investing in it for 3-4 years, you're doing yourself a massive disservice. You don't need to know that much. You just need to know the basic. Is it growing? How's it growing? What kind of product do they have? Do some research. You're putting your hard-earned in it, yeah? So Center looks okay. Thoughts on BTC today? Verified News says, this is a nice show. Thanks. Thank you, Verified. You've been supporting the channel already today. I do appreciate it. QQQ green or red today? Well, it's going to be green on the open. There's almost no doubt. The question is just this 13,000. Can it hold it? It's been weak after the open, with the pre-market being the strong point. Johnny Knoxville says, I was plus 40 yesterday on GME until they manipulated and destroyed it in 30 minutes. That's unfortunate, Johnny. Sad to hear, man. Everyone talking to Johnny. All right, we'll go back over these other ones. Good luck there, Sack Hunter. Half an hour, guys. Yeah. Half an hour. Mike Gunning, US $5. Good to see you, dude. Costs. Grip it and rip it, or sell it and run like hell. Alright, that's a look at costs. Grip it and rip it, or sell and run like hell. $40. It reached $26.90. Pooh. Well, yesterday was a glorious day for it, but wow, it's a tough question. 35. I don't know if I believe in cost that much. Look, the fact is that it will have rips in it over time. Whenever GME has good points, like cost goes a little bit, but it's going to be affected by the same sentiment. If GME can't, look at this sustained selling it copped, and it literally looks like GME's exact same kind of like chart. You just saw this massive sell off after it hit a psychological level, smashed into 40, sold off. GME hit 350, got belted, and then went back up. I'm not so won over by today's session, but I do think there is another. What happened last time was it got crazy volatile. It pulled up again. It had to go. Maybe it wasn't at the same highs, and then it was over. So possibly GME and AMC and everything will have another move on them. And I know it's unpopular opinion, but when I start to see this type of volatility, I know that the end is generally coming. Okay? And it's not that many days away. I might be wrong, but yeah, I do think that this is a problem for costs. Continue to watch GME. And as I say every single time, first 30 minutes, the minuto. This is the sentiment of the retail trader. We don't wait long. If it's red and bloody in 30 minutes, it's bad. We don't want to be in it necessarily. If it's green and good in 30 minutes, then everyone's getting hyped and going through the Reddit, going through stock tweets and hyping each other into the bull train. So Mike, good luck with what you choose to do with costs. But there's some of my thoughts. Henrik Nyman, knock 50. What are your thoughts on silver this year? Could it break $27 USD or even 30? Yeah, certainly can. Certainly can. I think it could do it even if US dollar kind of stagnated around the similar zone that it is now. So US dollar is currently sitting at 91.60, so right on support. Bitcoin, by the way, 57,000. Look at it go. Very, very nice. We'll go over to silver. So silver's coming up to the trend line. This is a daily trend line. It's a clearly very manipulated metal. 27, I think, is almost very likely. But 30 is the problem zone. So I would have thought, yes, silver continues to rip. And the main reason is because it's a used metal in industrial builds. It's used in society, whereas gold is just more like, it's all good. Gold's actually got a competition on it, which is Bitcoin. So I like silver. If it can get through this, look at this. See how it found resistance here? That's the problem area. 2 moving averages and the bottom of our previous good quality trend line. That's always going to be a problematic zone. If it closes above that, we actually rip back into 27.80. And then if we get above that, then of course it's all green sky up to the 29.80 area, 30 zone. So good luck on silver. My thoughts are it's going to be demanded. And as long as other materials like copper and everything are still rising, and copper's rising right now, then silver should rise alongside those due to the demand. Finken79 says, I think they'll freeze GME if it looks like it's actually going to hit 1,000. 100%, Finken. 100%. Finally getting closer. Sens has been slowly moving. Oh, wait. Like a week-long freeze? Yeah, like the Australian market freeze. See, this short squeezy kind of thing couldn't happen in the Australian market. They'd lock it down and they'd say, please explain. That's what they do. The ASX already has that control. I expect that control to come in on the American market eventually. So yeah, I agree with you, Finken. It's a thing. All right, we're all caught up. Perfect. Silver's intrinsic physical value can be found on March 2020. It's way overpriced, Imo, says Rich Buddy. I don't think it's way overpriced. It's just in a cycle, Rich Buddy. So the cycle for silver is always been clear. Look at the weekly. You go back through history and you've got to think about what happens after. So this is the GFC. We actually end the GFC here and silver appreciates for the next 2 years. Now, gold also appreciated, but nowhere near the percentage silver appreciated. Why did silver appreciate that way? A lot of it is through demand and people wanting to hedge out of uncertainty, for sure. But I do feel like, materials go into super cycles and we're in a super cycle right now. How could iron ore be the current price? Have you guys seen iron ore's charts? It's insane. Iron ore is insanely priced. It will not hold these levels. It cannot hold these levels. It's stupid. It will go down after China literally stockpile like 12 months worth of iron ore, stick it in the ports, and then it will go down through that decline. Every country wants to rebuild and rebuild jobs and do all these things. They always do it this way after it. So we go into a super cycle. And I feel like that's why silver can go that way. NEO should move over 50. We haven't looked at NEO. Let's take a look. So NEO had a good pre-market before, still doing well. I think it was above 44, 43.72, 5.81%. Not bad. Yeah, look, I mean, anything, as long as it keeps holding above 40, it's looking good. And 55, I think 50 is not really a big problem for me. Maybe it will be, but I'm kind of feeling 55 for NEO is the next zone. So we hold some greens above here. When Tesla starts ripping, let's say it does start ripping, this will be the same zone as 800 Tesla. Basically, you'll hit a 55 NEO if you get an 800 Tesla. They're the same charts, really. Just which company do you like more. All right, guys. Now, you're not going to like what I'm about to say. You're not going to like, but it's for the sake of my own health. I'm going to have to actually leave you. I know it's 26 minutes before the market open. You think, Tom, why the hell would you go right now? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm going to play the intro out for you, and I do wish you all the best. But I will have to leave. I will be here tomorrow for Friday's open. We've already been going for 3 hours. Thanks so much for the donations. I'll give you my final thoughts on the markets. US 500, points to watch today. 3,900 and 39.30 as the resistance, 3,900 as the support. US 100, I'm looking at 13,000 as the resistance and 12.8 as the support. So look at those. What is all this crap? I don't know what's going on with those lines. We'll get rid of that. So yes, basically this area here on the QQQ, which would be 310, 12.8 on the Nasdaq, and the resistance is 13,000. Dollar index worth watching just to have it on your charts. That's 91.61. You'll see that is on support right now. Be careful in gold and silver today. As you saw, silver is hitting a resistance. It is scary looking. Bitcoin's going to do its own thing. 57,000 is incredibly strong. We might be even looking at a 60 by the end of the next 24 hours. We'll watch it throughout the next couple of sessions. And yeah, look, I mean, let's do the pre-Weeble kind of action. Will banks be down a little bit today? Possibly. Pre-market upside. It's all about them health groups. Teladoc really still very low, 193. Tesla, 700 basically. Nvidia up 3.35. Snowflake. Be careful of the first hour. We'll scroll over here and show you. Retail love the first hour. We all buy. And then nasty Wall Street sell into the close. If this trend continues, it has me a bit worried. It's only a few days of it now. So right now it looks okay. It looks fine. I think it's just them manipulating everybody. Continue to watch that space. And again, thank you so much for all the donations and everything. Let's leave it with this. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I believe, and I've been on the wrong one the whole time. Oh well, doesn't matter. Leave it with this, guys. I believe that today's going to be good for everyone. And if you enjoy the stream, remember to subscribe, hit that alert button. It's been a great week, great month. I'm doing live streams every single day. Going towards 50,000 subs, thanks to you. All right. Cool. All right. See you guys. Bye for now. I will catch you tomorrow for more market analysis. Bye for now.